Okay, we're rolling. Kevin, what's up?
What's up, Joe?
Was that your phone?
Yep, I'm
Travis
sure.
Lutter.
Sorry.
So, first of all, welcome. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
No, thank you.
And it's good to see you again, man. I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, man, it's been a few.
Try to keep
few
this
times.
like a fist from your face.
It's fist from my face.
Yeah.
Well,
We were talking right before about injuries. You know, it's like I always like to talk to guys who've been doing jiu-jitsu a long time because they always have this laundry list of injuries. And you were talking about neck fusions and disc issues, and
yeah, I mean, I'm just like everybody else. We get, everybody gets injured. We all get old. It just takes time, but my opinion is if I'm going to teach jiu-jitsu, I have to stay doing the art.
Yeah.
I think that when people just teach and they don't train, they it's like it's a perishable.
Yes.
It's like your skills are perishable, and then it's also your thoughts. It's like, it's like, well, if we just, that's when you start seeing bullshit jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if I'm going to teach, I have to train. And it's like, I love training. I'd much prefer to, I wish I could still fight, but I can't. So it's like, but I do train, and it's like, I have to.
Did you notice a difference in improvement of your skills when you start teaching?
Yeah, for sure. I think that teaching definitely helps you improve, because the way that I think about it is that when you're teaching, you have to think about how he's looking at a problem. So you show him a move, and then you come back and he comes back with a question, and it might be in a way that you've never thought about it before. And then you've got to break down how to answer that question for them so that it makes sense on their level, at their wavelength. So it's like that helps me, because now I understand the position even essentially better. Yeah, I could do this position before, but now it's like I've answered so many different questions over the years, that it really, really improves your jiu-jitsu.
Kevin, when you started training, did you start right away with Travis, or did you start somewhere else?
Like jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did jiu-jitsu with anybody else but Travis.
Did you do martial arts before?
Yeah, I was a kung fu black belt when I got there.
Oh, that's right, because you call yourself a kung fu fighter when you enter into the octagon.
Everybody's kung fu fighting. Yeah.
What kind of kung fu was it?
So it was actually a mix. It was a mix between Hawaiian Kempo, American Kempo, and Kung Fu Sansu. So Kung Fu Sansu was originated in the States from Jimmy H. Wu bringing it over. And then Kempo just has 1,000 different stories, so couldn't really keep up with that. So I was always more fascinated with the Kung Fu Sansu aspect of it. So I actually went to Bill Lassiter's studio out in Rancho Cucamonga, California, and took a couple classes there. So I was just mainly focused on the Kung Fu aspect of it. Sansu was always funner than the forms that we did for Kempo.
I'm trying to remember what Sansu is. What's the fundamental difference between Sansu and other kinds of kung fu?
So probably the other differences I probably couldn't tell you, but it's more, I guess you could say it's more common, and so it's more like, it's more brutal. We're not doing a bunch of pretty things.
Tai Chi type things.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Tai Chi, but we're not doing a bunch of breathing techniques and stuff like that. It's more so like bash you over the head with this stick, bash you over the head with my fist, just, it's a mean Kung Fu style, and it worked well for me, especially in high school. It was my type of thing,
Yeah, you don't see there's a lot of kung fu techniques that I think probably would work in the octagon. Like, here's one that you see now that you didn't used to see before, people thought was kind of bullshit, is that oblique kick.
Yeah.
Like, the oblique kick is super legit, especially to the legs. But do you ever see Lorenz Larkin use it?
He did it to me.
Dude.
Yeah, he sends it to the leg, and then he'll send it to, like, the chest
body.
area.
Yeah.
And it's like it throws you back. It's really vicious.
He did it to Neil Magny, and I was like, God damn, that's like a fucking sidekick. Like, the way he throws it.
And he throws it pretty quick, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of hard to see it coming, too, because it's not really telegraphed. You don't know if he's throwing push kick. He's coming with the...
Right.
You don't know if he's going to question mark. It's a sexy kick.
It's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't around for a long time.
No.
I think, I want to say that the Winklejohn's influence...
Yeah.
With like John Jones, like those guys were like one of the first guys to start throwing that kick hard to the legs.
Yeah, John was stepping on the legs and keeping good distance with it. I never really seen John throw it to the body.
No.
It was just Lorenz is really the only person I've ever really seen throw it to the body like that. And I guess you could say it's kind of an oblique kick in Muay Thai sometimes when they kind of try and fake the roundhouse and come with the push kick instead. But oblique kick straight up to the body, Lorenz Larkison, but got it started, for sure. Have to
Yeah,
say.
I never even practiced it until I saw him do it to the body, and then I went and did it on the bag because I was like, oh shit, you can get a lot of pop out of that.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought anybody would be throwing it to. There it is. That's how he does it.
Yeah. He's done that same thing to me. It sucks.
Yeah, he's a super underrated guy.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's interesting now. He's over at Bellator, and there's a lot of like real talent at Bellator now. It's getting close. Like I always wondered, like when's it gonna be where Bellator is essentially equal to the UFC? Like how long is it gonna take?
Never.
It's not.
I agree. I don't
You
think
say
it'll
that.
happen.
You
Never.
say that.
No.
What if Bellator just backs out? Beep, beep, beep. With that big Brinks truck, and like Kevin, look what we got here.
Never.
Stacks and stacks of gold.
Nah.
No,
Not word.
never.
Nah.
No.
I'm
think-
back in the day. I used to want to go to Bellator because they didn't
Yeah.
have USADA, and so I was
Right.
like, I can smoke weed there.
But now you can smoke weed at the UFC.
Nah, so UFC is way
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Well, I think it's undeniable that the talent level in the UFC is higher, but I think it's also undeniable that there's guys like Douglas Lima, like Patricio Pitbull. There's super high level guys, Musasi.
Yeah.
There's Vadim. There's like real legit world class fighters over there right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, the person that gives them the biggest argument, I guess, say Michael Chandler coming over doing what he did, and it's
I mean,
like
that's a great example, right?
yeah, very, very good example. But you're not, it's like there's great basketball players out there that never make it to the NBA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's people on the streets that can do fantastic things that never make it to the greatest spot ever. The UFC is the greatest spot ever for a reason. It's like you're probably going to perform differently than you would in Bellator than you would in the UFC. My Bellator debut versus my UFC debut, I finished that guy, first round, triangle choke, rolling around like it wasn't nothing, doing things that I could have did, to any local level guy. But I couldn't do that in the UFC. I guess you could say, like you said, higher level competition all the way around. So I just don't feel like Bellator adds up.
Well, I don't think it's as deep.
No,
right?
not as deep.
You got like a couple super legit guys.
Yeah.
Whereas like look at the UFC's 155-pound division. Like Jesus Christ, it's a shark tank. It's
It is.
filled with savages.
It is.
Pride had the best chance. It's like
Yeah.
it's like there was a time where Pride was, the talent level I think in Pride was actually better than what was in the UFC at the same time, that mid 2000s, right before they collapsed. But the UFC being first gives them definitely a heads up. It's like it's kind of like the difference in between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. It's like Pepsi's always trying to play catch up. It's like, and I feel like that's kind of what everybody's doing with the UFC. UFC has probably a better game plan, business plan than some of these other organizations, and then they got a huge bankroll too.
It also has the name, right?
Right, it's the UFC.
It's like if someone comes along with the XFL, like okay, but you want to play in the NFL,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You want to be the UFC champion.
Plus, I wonder what the highest, the best person in Bellator, as far as fan wise and everything like that. How many followers do they have? Versus the hottest guy in the UFC.
Well, let's think about it. Who do you think is the most popular guy in Bellator? We could find that out right now.
Well, I would guess it's the
Venom
what's his
Page?
name? No, I think
Venom
it's,
Page is pretty up, but Lima knocked him out.
what's his name? Who's the heavyweight and the
Ryan
light
Bader?
heavyweight? Yeah, Ryan Bader's probably
Yeah.
up there, isn't he? I
Ex
mean,
UFC
up
guy.
there.
He's out of there. He doesn't even count.
He just got KO'd.
Yeah, he got his
I
call to
knew
UFC
that. I
though.
knew
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, but that was at light heavyweight. He's still the
Yes.
heavyweight champion.
Yeah, he's
so-
still the
Yeah.
heavyweight champion.
Yeah, but I mean, if the light heavyweight knocked him out, he probably can knock him out at heavyweight too.
That dude's a beast, that Russian dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
yeah. And Batters, how many fights has he had? He's been around for a long time.
Bader's been around a long time.
Long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
It's
long time.
Time's a bitch. It gets everybody.
Yes. Yeah. There's no way around it. One thing I was going to say, John Jock Machado doesn't have any injuries.
No, John looks good.
It's crazy.
It's
I asked him. He had a little problem with his knee. I got a little meniscus tear, but he got some cortisone shot in it, and it's fine. No back problems, no nothing.
the difference with him is that it's like there's somebody that trained all the time. It's like, and is always in really, really good shape. It's
Yep.
like back when he was winning Abu Dhabi and stuff like that. I remember talking to him. It's like he's going in there and he's killing, he's just trying to kill his cardio. It's like he submitted his way through ADCC and
Yep.
what was it 1999? And then
Yeah, it
in
was
2000, and then 2000 he lost in the finals to Henzo on decision. I think And then he lost to
Matt Serra.
But that was a weird one. That was a weird one. It's like, so that was the first match of the tournament, and Matt went out there and pulled guard on him, right? Like jump guard. And then they fought like 90%. So in the first 5 minutes back then, and I don't know what the rules are in ADCC now, is you could pull guard. And
right,
it wasn't penalized.
Yeah,
you didn't lose any points that year. And then after the 5 minutes, if you pulled guard, so they ended up on their feet with like 20 seconds left, and Jean-Jacques pulled guard. And that's how Matt won. It's like it was a 0-0 match until Jean-Jacques pulled guard with that, 20 seconds left, and he didn't have time to do anything after that.
Rules.
Yeah, there's a lot of wacky rules.
They're crazy.
Yeah,
I don't love the ADCC rules. It's like
no, I don't either.
It makes it really, really boring to watch.
Well, I think what's really interesting with what's going on with like a lot of these guys that are trying, like the Gordon Ryan situation, where he's trying to have these no time limit matches with people, it's like boring. Submission only.
Right.
It's boring until he catches them, because his idea is like, listen, all I'm trying to do is submit you. Yeah. You're just trying to beat me on points. So let's just have a no time limit thing and just see who can submit who. And I'm betting I can submit you. It's just going to take more time.
I would do that.
Kevin'd be a beast at it.
I'd do that.
Kevin's
That'd be a good style.
I mean, it seems like that's what jiu-jitsu really is, right? Jiu-jitsu's not who can submit each other over 5 minutes, or who can get on top, or who can get side control. Those are great ways of finding who's got positional advantages and who won these scrambles and exchanges. That's great. But ultimately, jiu-jitsu is about submission.
The problem with it is in a tournament format and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Yeah, it just takes too much time. It's like, the Gracies did the Machados versus Gracies back in the 99, 2000, something like that. So it's like all the Machados, it's like I flew from Texas to California, and we competed at the Gracie Academy. And, and that was fun. But the problem was you had some matches that were over an hour long. Oh, and it's like, and then it's like, and then the Ultimate Submission Showdown. It's like the Ultimate Submission Showdown that Horian put on, and had his two sons on opposite sides of the bracket so they could meet in the finals and stuff like that. And his Haran Gracie went against Jeff Munson. And it was like an hour and 15-minute match. It's like, and then Haran ended up winning on points, and then he fought me in the next round. It's like, and that's, it's like, and then David Avalon beat the other son on the other side. And, so it was just, it's the problem with those tournaments is that it's like, he had it set up so that the first person, I think, to 12 points won. And it's like, so it's like the match would end with these. So it's like, and it was weird because it was like a takedown was worth 1, passing the guard was worth 1, a mount was worth 4, and taking the back was worth 4. And that was the only points. There was no reversal points. There was no anything like that. But if you held guard for 3 minutes, I think, then they would give you a point and then reverse the position. And so Jeff Munson versus Haran Gracie, since there was a weight difference, they gave Haran 2 points to start with, and then they just held guard for 3 minutes. That's all they do. And it's like, and then they'd switch. And then Jeff would get in, starting his guard, and he'd sit up, single leg him, and he'd get his point. And then this went over and over and over and over. And so it's like he ended up winning by 2 points. It was 10-12, first person to 12, and he won. So it's like, but it made it not as fun to watch. It's like,
I think you'd have to I think what's going on right now with these streaming matches on the internet is kind of the way to go with guys like the Danaher Death Squad type dudes. Like, just do no time limit, because if it's streaming, same thing as like, anything you want to do on YouTube or a podcast or whatever, you don't have a specific time that you have to do it in.
Yeah, that's true. You could definitely do that. It's like, I personally, I like IBJJF rules. They're not perfect, but I prefer those over a lot of the different rule systems that are out there. I liked what the Horian set up, for the Ultimate Submission Showdown. I thought that was a good set of rules for me. I liked it.
How do you feel about the EBI rules?
I don't love the EBI rules. It's like I think Eddie got high as hell
Whoa.
He got high as hell.
Whoa.
and decided, hey, I got a great idea. What we'll do is if this happens, then we're gonna do this. And it's like, they're okay. It's
I like it. It
it's,
worked out for me.
that's because for his style, it's perfect. It's like him and IBI. It's really really hard to beat Kevin because it's like you're not gonna score on him. It's gonna go over time, and then Kevin.
And you can stand out of bounds. I love that.
Yeah, it's like
That's
Kevin.
perfect.
Kevin likes it a lot. So for me, not so much.
It's just interesting to see like situations where maybe the person in a regular match never would get to your back, but now they're starting on your back with the hands locked and the seatbelt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, it's for Kevin, that's great. It's like for older folk, probably not as good. For me, I don't know. You stay away from my back. I don't want you back there.
So, Kevin, how long have you been training with Travis?
11 years.
Yeah.
11 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a while. It's been a long time.
And when did you decide you wanted to fight MMA?
I wanted to do kickboxing when I got there. I was really a big fan of Kevin Ross. And then I got there, and Travis was like, as difficult as striking is, jiu-jitsu is more complex. And then he went like this. And then I was like, all right, bet. I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. And then I cried the first day after practice.
Did you?
Wow.
Yeah, I swear I did. I went home and I cried. I didn't even make it home. I got in the car and I cried. My mom was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I'm a black belt, and these white belts are fucking me up." And so then the next day, I was like, "All right, cool." I started fucking some white belts up. Then there were some blue belts tapping me out, so then I cried again. And then so
How old were you at the time?
I was 18 years old, crying like a little girl.
17, 18.
No, I was 17. I was just
Yeah,
about
he's
to be 18.
17.
And then I was like, and then all of a sudden, it's just. I started tapping people out, and I was like, "Oh, this is shit." I was like, "I can do this,"
When Kevin came to the gym, it's like jiu-jitsu is a great equalizer. It's like nobody is good when they first join. Kevin was the exception. It's like Kevin comes in, he's a huge pain in the ass the first day. It's like he could throw his body and he'd do stuff, and you do stuff to him once, and then you couldn't do it to him again. And this is, it's like where everybody's coming up to me going, "Hey, where did he train before?" And I'm like, he says he didn't, and it's like, well, I don't believe him. It's like everybody's like, nobody believed him. And it's like, and then it's like over time we figured out he was telling the truth. It's like, yeah, he'd done a little bit in the Kung Fu, but nothing to really, he's just really, really talented. And it's just, it's like, there's not a lot of guys that you roll with where it's like, that can do what Kevin can do. This is a different human. It's like I've trained with Randy, I've trained with GSP, I've trained with, a whole bunch of different guys that are really, really good. Kevin's different. It's like this is a different animal. It's
Wow.
Like, it's like when I say that, Kevin's, it's like Kevin's so much different. It's not fair. It's like he's, it's like this is the most talented guy that I've ever trained with by far.
Wow.
But
How's that feel?
or went against.
How's that feel? It's got to feel pretty goddamn
I'm like
good.
his son, so he just makes me feel good.
No, that's not true. It's like I'm not making him feel good. This is something that I firmly have believed, and it's like, and the whole thing is Kevin's starting to believe it now. It's like it's like he's starting to say, okay, maybe I'm a little bit different. Because it's like, what he can do is just totally different. It's like when we were at the Ultimate Fighter House, and it's like we went outside and we were doing sprints. The whole team was doing sprints. GSP is doing with them. He's mid-back. It's like Pete Spratt is freaking, it's like he give us a 10-yard head start and beat us by 10 yards in a 60-yard race. It was just crazy. It's like how fast he was. GSP's mid-pack. It's like he was fast, but nothing crazy. This is somebody who, in my opinion, it's like you have to get into like the music school, Gerard Music School in New York.
What's it called?
Juilliard, they have a minimum level of requirements to get into it and minimum level of talent. Do you have this much talent to get into here? And then after that, then it's about who wants to train the hardest to become it becomes first seat. So it's like, so it's like, if you make the requirements, I would have never made the requirements to get into some place like that, but it's like, you can become the best. Just with practice time, because it's like it's a direct relation to who's the best is based on how much time you're willing to put in there. It's like, so like a GSP, I've never saw anybody train like him. It was crazy the way that he would train. It's
In what
like,
way?
What's that?
In what way?
We'd show up. It's like so the my team. We had the first workout. The other team had the second workout. But we get there and at least 5 days a week, GSP's already there. He's just finishing his workout, and then he's going to train with us, and then he's going to train with the next team, and then he had another workout scheduled for immediately after that. So it's like, this is inhuman that he, it's like whatever we were going to do, GSP was going to do, because we didn't really have coaches and stuff like that. But he, so he's doing, so much workload, it's like just crazy. So it's like, he's arguably one of the most, one of the best all time with GSP, and the talent level though, nothing compared to Kevin. It's different. It's like I rolled with him. I rolled with Randy. I rolled with, all these guys. I've done striking with them.
I don't like to work out, though.
And, and that's the crazy thing is like Kevin.
Well, how often do you work out, though?
I work out a lot more now than I used to. But, it's like when I first joined the gym, I didn't. It's like I'd go roll because rolling was fun. And if you said we had some sparring, I'd go spar because sparring was fun. If we said we had wrestling, I wouldn't show up because wrestling sucks. It's like if the workout's hard, I don't want to do it. If it's something that I can control, I'm completely down for it. It's like strength and conditioning. It's like I love Suge because some days I can get away with some things. I offer him some free food and he's like, all right, come on, we'll take off 5 minutes. Let's go. You know what I mean? But it's like I hate hard workouts. It's like all those hard workouts and people are like, yeah, I live for that. I'm like, tripping, bro. What are you smoking? I'm smoking weed. I want to chill.
That's funny because you seem to be having fun inside the octagon. It's one of the interesting things about watching you fight. You're having fun in there. It's very obvious. So like you're having fun in training as well.
Yeah.
And you're getting better while you're having fun. And of course, you're gonna get a lot of cardio out of just training and training hard and doing all this fun stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't like to do the supplemental stuff.
No, I like to do supplemental stuff. So swimming works out because we have a heated pool, and I love to swim. So I'll go in the heated pool and I'll stay there all day. I don't have a problem with that. But if the pool's not warm, I'm not going in there. And if the workout's hard, I might do it on Monday, but then Tuesday, Wednesday come around, I'm gonna have an excuse to why I can't make it to the gym.
Do you wonder if you're gonna reach your full potential with this mindset?
No, I don't really care.
You don't care?
No.
That's not true.
That's
not true.
Travis wants me to reach my full potential. Sometimes I do care, but most of the times I don't. It's like
he does care. It's like the whole thing is Kevin's going to say that he's not going to care, and it's like and maybe it's because subconsciously he's setting himself so that it's like I don't want to say that I want to do this. I don't. If I say that I care, then I have to own it and I have to go after it and stuff like that. But no, he cares. It's like that's
too
not
much
true.
work.
That's not true. It's like he's out there working his ass off. It's like he's training. He trained crazy hard yesterday.
I'm glad you're here right now.
Yeah,
you're balancing this out because I know he's kind of finagling us here.
Yeah, no, Kevin works his ass
a little
off,
bit.
It's like,
no,
come on, man. I've seen your fights. There's no way you could be that good and not work out hard.
And he, it's like Kevin's in there. It's like, does he want to do it? No, it's like, but it's like I said, how many rounds? And he goes, no, let's do 4. So he wanted to do more. It's like, okay, we're gonna do 5, and it's like, he doesn't like it. He might not like it, but he'll do it. It's like, and it's like he's over there working with Suge. It's like, and the whole thing is,
Suge is your strength and conditioning guy.
Yeah,
and hands,
and hands as well.
Hands. Yeah, he does a good job.
And rolls good blunts. Makes good spreads. He's a great guy.
We've got to cut down on the blunts, but other than that, we're good. And the spread's awesome. But he's willing to work. It's like he's bullshitting you a little bit. It's like Kevin's in there doing the hard work, and it's like and he's as he's starting to believe more. It's like he's for sure. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's go to work.
Wrestling's starting to be fun. It's like.
Did you getting better at it?
Yeah, I'm getting better at it for sure.
Kevin has never shown what he can do when he's in the octagon. It's like Kevin is. I'll pretend like Kevin's not here right now. It's like Kevin subconsciously is worried about getting tired. And so he'll let people take him down because it's like, he had success in the minor leagues and stuff like that. He'd submit people off of his back, and it's like he won't always fight the takedown. And then, after Thiago, he's like, okay, that sucks. I don't want to be on the bottom again. It's like, and so then he's, he'll wrestle more, but it's starting to kick in that it's like, okay, I have to be on top. But it's like in the room, you can't take him down. You know, it's like we got really, really good wrestlers that are, you know, that, yeah, we get him down, but we have to do it. You know, it's like, okay, this guy's going for it until he gets tired. And then we jerk him out, and we got another wrestler that's coming in on him as soon as they're, you know, so we might use 3 guys in a 5-minute round, just trying to tire him out, forcing him.
Don't tell people this. Then Brunson's not going to take the fight.
I know. Brunson's going to be
man.
scared.
Brunson's going to take the fight.
Oh, for sure.
He's going to take that fight.
Yeah.
He's a veteran.
Yeah. A veteran? No. We
No?
have like the same record almost.
Yeah, you're a veteran too.
Yeah, you're a veteran.
No,
okay.
I'm 28.
Listen,
I'm young.
but I'm not saying you're a veteran as in it's a positive thing. You have a lot of good experience.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Derek has a ton of world-class experience.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
been in there with some, you know, he's been knocked out by all the good guys, you know, so it's amazing to find out if I'm a good guy or not. You know, you knock him out and you're a good guy. You know, it's pretty cool.
Coming off the Jacare fight, that was one of the craziest KOs I think I've ever seen. I watched the fight again a couple days ago because I knew that I was going to see it again. I wanted to watch it one more time. You heard him before the big punch.
Yeah.
You heard him with another punch
Yeah.
before that, and they showed it in the replay. They showed the big punch that really sent him back, staggering off the back. But you had rocked him with a punch off your back just before that.
Hammer fist.
Was it hammer fist?
Yeah, those hammer fists off the back. I don't know why. It's like those hammer fists when you're on your back, they hurt. You know, like you generate good power.
But look at that. Yeah, that for sure. But even before that, if you go back before this, the hammer fist for sure stunned him. But even before the hammer fist, you hit him with one punch from. That's
Right
it right there,
Yeah,
right
but-
there, right
but
there.
see-
Exactly. Like now you see him how he's covering, and then you hit him with a hammer fist. The hammer fist definitely hurt him. Oh, you see he's real wobbly. But I think it was really that first punch that
So
sent him.
when I did my research on this, when I was just thinking about it, and I was thinking about it over and over again, like what the hell could possibly make this happen, right? And it's like 2 things. One, if you look at my right leg right there, he holds that leg for dear life, right? He holds that leg like that leg makes a difference in the fight, right? And I guess it does. Then he looks at it. Look how he looks at that leg as it whips around, bow, and he gets smacked, right? So he's looking at the leg almost like the leg is going to kick him. And so if you're thinking about the leg, you're not looking at the punch, so the punch is going to hurt a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then everybody thinks I was on my back, but I was actually on one hand when I did it, you know? So it's kind of like capoeira, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You play the video game and the guy Eddie, he's doing all that dancing and stuff like that, and he's on one hand doing everything. It's just kind of like capoeira if you think about it.
Did you ever see Randy versus Ensign Inoue?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
When they fought in Japan,
Yep.
Ensign was throwing these nasty leg kicks off of his back.
Yeah.
Off of his back, he was kind of like sideways on his back, and he was just cracking him with these nasty leg kicks. I was like, whoa, this is generating a lot of power from that position.
I want to see this.
Yeah, like, and not like a straight leg kick, you know, like attacking the knees, just chopping at the legs.
Like a
off
roundhouse?
of his, yeah, off of his back. And then he caught Randy in an armbar.
Yeah, Ensign was an interesting guy. It's like I read that you know, he was playing racquetball, and a guy approached him about training.
Is that Egan or Ensign?
Maybe it was Egan. Maybe
Yeah.
it was Egan.
See,
You know, it's like,
so Randy's coming at him, and look at this. He's hitting him with these nasty kicks off of his back. You see how he's doing that? Like he scoots forward, and he was generating a lot of power off of his back. And Randy just wanted to stay above him. Look, he's attacking with these leg
Right in
kicks.
the calf right there on that.
Yeah, they had good power to him. I remember this was a big win for him because, you know,
probably his biggest win ever.
yeah, I would say so, right?
I think if they would have fought, you know, 100 times, Randy wins 99 of those.
Well, how can you say that when Ensign won the
Well,
one time
'cause
they fought?
That's what I think.
Because you're a Randy fan. But when he fought Royce Alger, that was a giant win too, because Royce Alger was coming over. He was an elite wrestler, and everybody was like, "This is what's going to win in the UFC. These big, powerful wrestlers going to take you down and ground and pound you." And Ensign caught him in an armbar and broke his arm.
Yeah.
He had good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, he got IBJJF and him are in a little bit of a squabble.
Yeah, what is going on with that? Like,
You know, well, he was inactive. He was
Right.
inactive. He had never done his paperwork. You know, it's like, is that bullshit? Yeah, it's a little bit bullshit. But he was also inactive from what I hear, he wasn't really training. You know, it's like, and it's like the way that rankings work is that it's like, in order for me to be ranked up after black belt, I have to be training. Yeah, it's like, or you know, it stagnates. And I don't think that that's the actual real issue with the IBJJF is that he just didn't do his you know, his paperwork a long time ago. You know, John Jock had that problem. You know, it's like when they first, you know, years ago, it's like he couldn't, you know, if I remember right, they gave him like 2 stripes on his black belt, and this is just a couple of years ago. And then Hickson heard about it and ranked him up to, I think, coral belt.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was kind of a big deal.
It's
It's
cool. Calls that black and red.
that black and red belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hickson did that, and it's like, it's kind of a fuck you to. I could say fuck you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. It's that to the IBJJF. I think it's like a little family squabble. So.
The whole ranking thing is weird, right? Because some guys can just decide that they're forming their own system, and then
at the end of the day, it's like this goes back to samurai times, and there was no belts. It's
Right.
like, and then they started putting in. I think the original belts was white, black, blue, and that, like even in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's like when it was given to the to the Gracies back in the day. I think that was the rank, Hoist had explained it to me, because it's like, so the white belt was the beginner, a black belt was the you'd achieve the rank of black belt, you were the expert, and then the blue belt was the teacher. And so Elio, right before he died, the last few years, would train in a really, really dark blue belt. And it's like, and it's like, so he'd go put the black belt on or the red belt on for the pitchers and stuff like that. But when he was teaching, he would wear a blue belt. And now Hoist, when he does his seminars, if you look really, really closely at his belt, it's blue.
Really?
Yeah, it's not black. He's doing that, to honor his dad and stuff like that. So
That's really interesting. People love belts, though. They love, like finding out that that you've passed.
Right.
You've reached the next level. It gives you a nice boost. You feel
Yeah.
good.
yeah,
I
but
love
it's
belts.
a perishable skill. It's like everything's perishable. It's like, it's like if you don't go shoot, it's like that skill's going to go away. If I don't train jiu-jitsu, that skill's going to go away. And it's like, and it's striking, whatever it is. You don't drive your car, you're not going to do as well with it. It's like if you're a race car driver, you got to practice. You know? And it's like, and so in that ways, it's like, do I start over? I haven't trained for 5 years, 10 years.
Right.
Should I start over? Do I still wear my belt? I achieved it at one time. It's complicated.
Yeah. It is complicated, right?
Yeah.
But getting a black belt from Travis Lutter, that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it takes
Come
a
on,
long
man.
time.
That's a big fucking deal. That's legit.
It takes half a lifetime.
Oh.
You can do it. It just takes half a lifetime.
What is do you have a favorite thing that you like to train in?
Yeah, the gi.
You like the gi?
Yeah, as long as we're in the gi, I'm happy. I love the gi, especially a new gi. I love the gi. And it sucks because I just bought like 5 new gis, and I haven't been able to train in the gi since buying 5 new gis.
Because you're training for MMA.
And, well, no,
Gotta
it's
find
just I've been at all my classes seem like they've been no gi or wrestling. It just haven't been gi classes. It sucks.
Why do you prefer the gi?
That's what I started with. Kung Fu, started off in the gi. Jiu-Jitsu when I went to Travis's gym, gi. It's like, it's real martial arts.
Yeah, like the last thing that Kevin does before he goes in the octagon, before he comes out, is he does his kata, from Kung Fu.
Yeah.
So it's like we do the warm up. He's all 100% warm, and then that's kind of his cool down, and that gets his head right, and he's ready. And it's like and this is it's part of the routine, and it's like Kevin's very, very traditional that way.
Do you have a specific kata that you like to do before you warm up, or when you're about to go out?
Yeah, to calm down, 10-point blocking system is the one to calm down. They say 10-point blocking system, but it really should be called like 10-point breathing system. And so you're really focusing on your breathing. And then I like combat pinyan. Like I'm really, really fond of combat pinyan. So like the only forms that I'll still do is like I'll do 10-point blocking system, of course. I'll do combat pinyan. I'll do self-defense form to the left and to the right. That's the original one we learned. And then I'll do SDM2. That's the second self-defense form that we learned. And I kind of suck at SDM2. That's why I still practice it. SDM1, self-defense forms left and right, the traditional one that for the whole art, 10 basic footworks. I do those. I do the footworks, every couple days, or if I'm just bored, or if I'm naked in the shower. And then, combat pinyan. I like to smoke a blunt and do combat pinyan.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like a scenery in a garden. Like you create the capital I. It's kind of like what you do. And then 10-point blocking system is just really good to just calm down, just relax. And, and it's like, I want to teach it to my little brother, but he's 14 years old and I still don't think he's patient enough to learn it. So, It's a good one, though. I really love 10-point blocking system.
So you said you train with Shug is your strength and conditioning guy, but he's also works with your hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you have a Muay Thai coach? Do you work with someone that does kicks with you? Like
No, so I'm traditional. I have I have my 2nd degree black belt in Kung Fu, so I know kicks pretty well. But it's like I go out there and I get work with Bob, of course, and I love working with Bob. Shout out to Black Beast and them. Texas is officially warm again now that the balls are back.
we were talking about Derek's KO victory over Curtis Blades before this fight, and it's just holy shit.
That shit was amazing.
That
Scary human.
He can crack.
Yeah.
He can crack, and he keeps it too. That was the thing, the Volkov fight. I remember calling that fight because he was down in the fight, and I remember it was like right before he knocked him out. We were talking about it. I said he can knock you out at any moment in the fight.
Yeah.
Even deep into the 3rd round, Derek can still knock you out.
Can
and all of a
Francis do
sudden,
that?
Boom. I don't know.
We've never seen it.
I don't know.
He's never had to do it.
Yeah, we've never seen it. I don't know.
He didn't do it against Stipe that first time. It's like
That would have been the answer. Huh?
Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know if Derek could do it against Stipe either. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's not there to hit.
Yeah.
And he's so experienced. He knows when to clinch with you. He knows when to get you down. He knows how to wear you out. So what Stipe was able to do, though, which was pretty shocking, was absorb some of the bigger shots that Francis throws.
Yeah.
And he went with them, and he rolled with some shots, and
So
how's his eye now?
I don't know. It got better enough that he was willing to fight DC a 2nd time.
Yeah.
How is it now? I don't know.
Man, that's something. It's like you start losing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is all fun, but
Like Nick
I don't wanna
Lentz
lose an eye.
just retired because he said he lost 40% of his vision.
no, thank you.
how does that happen?
Yeah. Pokes.
The pokes
Pokes
and
are
then
a big
also
one.
trauma because boxers get it.
Mhm.
Boxers get it. It's like you get hit and it's like it'll detach. So it's like maybe the centrifugal force, whatever. It makes that eye pop and then the retina detaches and then they have to go in there and do surgery and it's never right.
Bisping only has one eye.
That's pretty cool.
So you can take out his eye.
No, he has a lens cover.
A lens
that he puts
cover.
over his eye. His eye has had so many surgeries on it that it looks weird. It looks.
Oh, okay.
If you see it, it's like you have 2 eyes. He has one eye that looks normal and one eye where the
Can he see?
It looks like a giant pupil. No,
No.
you can barely see.
He can barely see.
And he fought like that
yeah.
for
How
years.
is he passing the eye exam?
I have no
That's what
idea.
I'm trying to figure out.
I have no idea.
Yeah, because
How did he pass the eye
right
exam?
before my last fight, they thought I had a detached retina, and I had to go to a different one, and I was like, oh my god, this is the end. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like crazy.
I don't know. They're doing different things to try to heal trauma to eyes. There's a guy named Andrew Huberman who's been on my podcast before, who's out of Stanford University, and they're doing these things with, I believe, there's somehow or another engineering bacteria, and they inject this bacteria in your eye, and it repairs your eye, and it repairs vision, and yeah.
So they stick a needle in your eye?
Yeah.
Oh, how bad would that hurt?
That would not be. I don't like needles, so that would be terrible.
Yeah, not fun. But if it fixes your eye,
I'd do it.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
I just want to know how bad. I'd do it just to see how bad it hurt.
So is that uncomfortable? As he said, like wearing that thing over your eye? That's gotta be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what he was doing. He was on my pod. He's since done it on his show. He's pulled the lens out and shown everybody what it is. But he was on my podcast. I'm like, dude, your eye looks great. Like, what did you do? And then afterwards, he shows me, pulls it out. He's like, yeah, I can't even fucking see.
Can't see nothing.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So he basically has like an artificial cover to his eye. It's like a...
Joe Frazier, he was...
Yeah, there it is. Look at that. He's pulling it out.
damn.
So that thing sits over his eye.
Yeah, Joe Frazier, the first
pirate.
fight he ever wore contacts for was when he fought Big George
Really?
Foreman. Yeah, so it's like that's one of the things that nobody really talks about in that fight is he was wearing contacts in that fight.
Well, back then, contacts were glass, too.
Right, and it's like, so they get, he gets hit and they're going everywhere, and he can't see.
No.
So it's like, that was part of the problem for
Why
that
the
fight.
Fuck. Now
Because
at
he was
least-
blind. He was
Really?
It's like Joe was basically legally blind at that point in time in his life.
From
boxing.
boxing.
From
Oh,
boxing.
my
And it's
God.
like he drove for years without a driver's license. From what I've read, he's out there driving. They said he drove fast, and it's like
And he couldn't see.
Well, he's driving by feel, so it's like
What? Driving by feel.
My grandfather did it. And he was like,
Oh my
What's that?
God. That's a curb. Don't go left.
Exactly.
It's a car that doesn't go left?
No,
it's just,
you hit
it's
the
a
curb.
joke.
That means
it's just
go
a
left.
Joke. You just hit shit and bounce off of it and keep going.
Oh, yeah. Middle of the night driving. Yeah.
Middle of the night.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, if you're from the Northeast, you get shit over your windshield. You can't see.
Oh, yeah.
And from snow and
Yeah.
ice. And,
Or if you're in Texas and then,
Yeah,
last week-
Derek Lewis
last
ain't
week.
home, you know.
how bizarre.
It's crazy. 100-year storm, something like that.
It's, if that. We were talking about it, like there's no real record of anything that lasted that long. Like that went through Austin and Houston and Dallas and
Yeah.
froze everything up.
Did you
like
lose
that.
power?
No, we got lucky. Didn't
Yeah.
lose power, but pipes froze up.
Oh, your pipes froze?
Yeah, pipes froze up.
You know, it's so crazy. I was so mad. It's like the little hood apartment that I used to stay in.
Yeah.
Never lost power. My uncle was good the whole time. I moved into this nice new neighborhood, beautiful house, and I lose power. My grandparents' house right around the corner, they lose power. I go back to the hood, and everybody over there has power. I said, I knew I shouldn't have moved. I knew I shouldn't have moved. Knew it, man.
Yeah, it was a weird random thing, but millions of people lost power, which is just so strange that it lasted for so long, and then, a lot of tragedies too.
Oh, yeah. There was that boy that the mom found him. They were from Honduras, and they were living in a trailer, and their trailer lost power. And then and she found him under a bunch of blankets. He was trying to keep warm, and he froze to death.
Oh.
It's like, and I think there's 20-some people that I read that died in Texas. So, terrible. Bad deal.
Bad
That
deal.
sucks.
So your gym, you were telling me your gym was only closed for a short amount of time.
For during the
COVID.
pandemic, yeah,
Yeah.
during the pandemic, we closed down. For that 6 weeks when the governor shut us down, and I mean, it's like, and we were, Kevin had to fight, so it's like we were doing, some training on the down low and stuff like that. But
We
it's
had
like,
to.
yeah, we
Yeah.
had to. Kevin's gonna fight.
No.
It's like, and
No, it wasn't just because Kevin had a
well,
fight.
Travis is gonna lose his mind. so
Travis
it's
is
like-
going crazy.
And then I vowed that it's like, as soon as it was over and it's like it made no change, I'm not shutting down again. It's
Yeah.
like they can shut us down, but it's like I'm not going to shut down. I'm not going to do that to my people. It's like
California's
people,
still shut down
Yeah.
a year later.
terrible.
That's
It's
horrible.
insane. There's no jiu-jitsu in California legally a year
Legally.
later.
Legally.
It's
Crazy.
fucking bananas.
I was out in Vegas, and you have to, like, put your mask around your... You have to chin strap
Chin.
your
What?
mask.
Trans-
Just so
really?
Yeah, you chin strap your mask in case the people come in. You could just pull it up. And
So
it'll be a
silly.
problem.
How are you supposed to train with that? That's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's so silly.
Yeah.
It's so silly. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it's like, I mean, I understand if you've got, if you're physically, you're older, you have some sort of
Well, don't go
pre-existing-
train
Yeah,
then.
don't go train. Don't
Yeah.
go train.
You-
Don't be
you
around
shouldn't
people
be in
that
a
were
jiu-jitsu
trained.
gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, but to tell a healthy person that you can't go train, it's like, that's crazy. It's like, this is,
Not only that, who are the people that are telling us we can't
Right.
do this? They're not healthy.
No.
These are not wise people.
I'm
They're
not
just
walking
public
around-
health officials that are just deciding arbitrarily to close down outdoor dining when there's no evidence whatsoever that there's any spread from outdoor dining.
Yeah.
Zero.
Well, it's like, I could walk around and start slapping ho-hos out of, people's hands and saying, listen, that's going to kill you. Boom.
Not only is it
it's
going to
like-
kill you, but it's also going to make you
Be
more
fun.
susceptible to the disease, which is going to make you transmit to more people.
Right.
That's real.
Yeah.
Also, they're talking about obese people. Obese people that get COVID, they aspirate more, they cough more,
Right.
they have more issues. So you are literally likely to infect more people.
As they're telling us not to go outside.
Yeah.
Not to vitamin D is I think one of the biggest things that they found that helps to prevent COVID. The people that are were dying were vitamin D deficient, and it's like, and they're telling us not to go outside.
84% of the people in the ICU vitamin D deficient for COVID.
Right.
4% had sufficient levels of vitamin D
4%.
on multiple studies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's
Vitamin D is giant. Do you take supplements?
No.
Nothing.
UFC sent me some supplements to take, and I tried it for a while, and I feel like I was getting more sleepy taking the supplements than I was just regular training and smoking weed.
Kevin's just a different
So I
animal.
just-
That
Stop.
doesn't make any sense. Like, what supplements are they sending you?
I don't know.
Tranquilizers?
They sent me a bunch of stuff. But
Equalizer.
if anybody asks, I do take Recover Me USA. Yeah, I take that all day, every day. I swear
Oh.
I do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Super believable. Hard sell.
Yeah, I don't
So you don't
know.
take anything, just eat,
Yeah, I
eat
just-
and train.
Yeah,
Getting
eat
them
and
to
train.
eat right is difficult. It's like, Kevin, you got to eat. It's like, man, I'm just not hungry. Man, Kevin, you got to eat.
Like,
You gotta
what's your
eat.
diet like? Why are you laughing?
Oh man. See, me and my old lady, we just split, so I don't know what the diet's gonna be like.
Is she cooking?
Yeah, she cooks everything. She cooks really good too. Probably go back to Icon Meals. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good move.
Yeah.
Right?
My grandparents live right around the corner though, so grandma usually cooks. So I'll just go over there and snack a few plates and stuff. Yeah, it's like breakfast. I usually like, it's like now that I'm single, I ain't gonna be making no bacon. So I'll probably just crack like 2 eggs. You know what I mean? And give one to my son. I'll take the other one.
You gotta eat more than that. You gotta
Throw it
eat
on the
more than
bread.
Yeah, you
good
got to
to
eat
go.
more than an egg.
Yeah,
That's
you gotta eat more
crazy
than
talk. Really?
Yeah, I feel good like that. You know, it's like
You like to eat light?
yeah, I just just snack.
What do you walk around at? Like, what do you weigh?
196 pounds.
Oh, that's not much.
Sometimes
Yeah.
194.
When you see guys like Paulo Costa, that he looks like Jesus Christ.
I'd
What do
kill
you-
him.
Yeah, how's he
What do you
make
think?
weight? How's
I
he
have
making
no
weight?
idea.
That's 200,
No
like
idea.
14 pounds, I think he weighed in
Yeah,
after the fight. You know,
insane.
That's crazy.
I used to fight at 170 pounds, and then I missed weight for like 2 California fights. Both times I just really wasn't taking the weight cut serious, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it was like they start talking about how you can't cut so much weight in California.
Right. 10% of your body weight.
Yeah, for fights. And I was like, oh, well, I'm probably going to have to go up to 85. And at the time, I was going back and forth between California and Texas a lot to fight. So I was like, well, I'll just stay at 85. It's like half the time guys are out of shape anyways, 85. I'll just stay at 85. And it's like, and then I lost Lovato at 85. So I was like, yeah, I'm really going to stay at 85. I'm going to get that fight back. And it's like, so it just makes sense not to cut that much weight, and it's like I could probably make 170 with the nutritionist, but we like the way that I act and we like the way I feel at 85. So
I like Kevin at 85 better. It's like he's stronger. It's like we have better training partners for him at that weight. He gets down to when he's lighter. It's like I prefer him at 85.
You certainly have the frame for it.
Yeah.
That's just it's such a big advantage to be long.
He's stupid strong. It's
Yeah.
like Kevin. It's like put him up against anybody as far as strength at 85.
Well, you certainly show it with one punch power. When Joaquin Buckley made that highlight reel crazy kick, and then
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, does everybody forget?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one
Like,
fight ago.
No one's. I mean, yeah, it was an amazing kick.
It was.
It was
I
an
was
amazing
proud of it.
payout.
Really
that's
nice.
my
It
son.
was very
I'm proud
nice.
of him. I'm forever gonna own that. He's my kid, and then I got my other kid who can't freaking pass drug tests.
Who's
I got
that?
these 2 kids. The Ontiveros guy, he stays in Houston. The one that I fought.
Oh.
Those 2 are everybody thinks that I call everybody my kids that I beat. No, it's only the 2 guys that I brought into the UFC. You know what I mean? Like I brought both those guys into the UFC and then I finished them. Those are my kids. And it's like, yeah, those are my kids. There's no way around it.
It was interesting that fight made Buckley like sort of this viral sensation,
Yeah.
deservedly so. It was wild
Right.
chaos,
Crazy kid.
Nice.
wild. But then you don't. People like forgot. Like
Yeah.
it was just one fight ago. You KO'd him with one punch.
Yeah.
But this is social media fans.
Yeah.
It's like this
Right.
is, it's like this isn't real hardcore fans. It's like, and it's like the hardcore guys know, it's like I know what Kevin did to him.
Yeah.
It's like, don't forget, he's human.
Yeah, it's the whole division right now is in such an interesting place with Adesanya about to fight Blachowicz.
Who you
That
got there?
I don't know. Look, Israel's the most interesting striker, I think, in that division in terms of like he's got so much kickboxing experience.
Yeah.
He's so good at reads and feints and setting you up.
One question though, Joe.
Yes.
Does he have a black belt in Kung Fu?
No, he doesn't.
All right.
You
let's
and
go.
him had words, right? Like, was it after one of your victories you were yelling at him or something?
Yeah, like
It started before that.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
started
he-
before that.
he tried to punk me like my first day on the job. You know what I mean? Like,
First day on the job?
yeah, like I was.
He shoulder checked Kevin in the back. It's like
Really?
we're
Yeah,
walking through
the
It was
Thiago fight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Thiago fight.
Yeah,
And it's like, so Kevin was been mad about this since then. It's like when something happens to Kevin, it's like, it just festers in his brain, and it's just, it's just he
He's not
can't
getting
like
away
it.
with that
Yeah,
shit.
it's like so he's mad. He's angry that this happened. It's like he does not. Kevin just doesn't like to be disrespected, and he felt disrespected in that moment. And it's like, whether or not Stylebender remembers it or whatever, is
It happened.
it happened.
And
It's
that's
like,
simple as it is. You did it, and it's like you can say, "Oh, I didn't do anything," and it's like, "All right, well."
and then they
That's
had
fine.
another altercation, in the hotel. It's like where everybody's staying, getting ready for this during quarantine UFC. They had that other little altercation, and and then after the fight, then he was there, and then Kevin was yelling at him, and he yelled something back, and
Yeah.
You think that's an inevitable encounter?
I mean, you know,
Seems like it has to.
I think
right?
if he
It's-
wins
I'm gonna
it,
tell
I
you
think if
this.
he wins at 205, he doesn't come back to 85.
You think so?
I don't think he
I
goes
don't
back to
think
85.
so. No.
I have
It's
this theory,
money.
though.
Money.
Yeah.
He'll be after money fights after that. And it's
Do you
like,
think there's more money at 205 than 85?
probably.
I
It's
just-
like the heavyweights make more money than anybody, so it's like,
Right, but he's not going to go up to heavy. Do you really
I think he
he's gonna
will.
Go up to heavyweight?
I think if John Jones wins the heavyweight title, I think Izzy goes up there and
he
fights
fought
John
at heavyweight and
for the heavyweight
kickboxing.
title.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
like in one. And one, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's a talented guy. He's really, 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 really good.
It's different when you add grappling though.
Yeah.
But he's good. He's undefeated. I mean, it's hard to knock what he does. The guy,
He's
he
good.
does fantastic work.
Yeah.
You
What do
know?
you
But
think
he
of-
has been knocked out before. So, you know.
Well, that Pereira fight,
Yeah,
that guy's got fucking crazy power, man.
I know, and I know
Is he
somebody
ever
like
going
him
to come to MMA?
Oh, like you?
who has crazy power.
Kevin Holland?
I mean, you know, sometimes I
Is that-
squeeze things too tight. You know,
Yeah, he's in MMA now. He's
Is
fighting
he?
for LFA. Yeah.
Really?
That'd be
Yeah.
LFA?
Yeah, he's got a ruthless KO. His first fight in MMA in a while,
Yeah.
that they put up on. See if you can find that. Alex Pereira, he knocked this dude out with a left hook. Same left hook he knocked Izzy
Izzy
out.
out.
with. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got a crazy left hook.
What weight
man.
is he at?
Well, he's got 2 titles in Glory. He's got the 85 and the 205-pound title in Glory.
Beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. But I don't know what his ground game's like. I have no idea
Yeah.
what he has.
But Izzy just got his purple belt, I think.
From Atos, right?
Yeah, from Atos.
Yeah.
He's out there for like a week.
I might give him a stripe. I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to give people stripes.
I don't know. It's like
Well, how's that work? Once you're a black belt, what are you allowed to give?
you think you got to be the black belt for 3 years before you can start ranking people officially.
Here it is. Let's just boom.
Gotta get your first stripe.
Nice face plant.
Yeah,
Can we see it again?
yeah. Here goes.
Boom. Damn.
It's a smooth left hook too.
Oh,
It's
nice.
almost like it's right here and then it's just right there.
It's full rotation. The thing about him is like when he throws things, he touches you, boom. Like he'll throw things and he looks like calm and relaxed. Like look at that kick. Boom. Like that kick's not full power, right?
No.
He's just reaching up with that kick. So go back a little bit, Jamie, and show that again. When you see how he touches guys with stuff,
Oh,
bang.
I like that.
God damn, that hurt.
Crazy power. And he does that to everybody. He
Crazy.
does that with the big gloves, with the little gloves. It's a different fucking story.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd fight him.
I'm sure you would. You'd fight anybody.
Kevin will
Sure you'd fight
anybody.
Satan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin has to
Sure you
fight
would.
though. It's
Yeah.
like it's like the UFC making him wait this long is driving him crazy.
Yeah.
So
So this is the question. With Adesanya about to fight Blachowicz, you got this situation now with the 185 belt is potentially in limbo.
Mm-hmm.
Does that bother you when you see guys who are champions fighting other champions and it sort of ties up both weight classes?
Nope.
No.
Nope. See all this
Kevin doesn't
I
care.
see a lot of gold.
I just want to fight.
just
It
wanna
doesn't
fight.
have to be for the belt. It's like
But I mean, when you look at the rankings, like obviously now you're a top contender.
I want Kelvin Gastelum next.
That's
I
who you
mean,
want.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I
that's a great
I
fight.
want to do him worse than what Izzy did him. You know what I mean? And it's like I want to go out there and have that type of war. It's like I oblige. It's like if not, it's like do I have to go back a little bit? It's like who's a good fight? Who's a fun fight? It's like who can keep me active? It's like that's what I want.
So right now you're just in
just
this
wanna be
mind
active.
state of just keep going and keep
He
improving.
wants to fight name fighters, but he wants to be active. It's like him having to wait till March is painful for Kevin.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
So they have a fight scheduled for you in March?
Yeah, Brunson.
Yeah, Brunson
Oh,
in
that's
March,
right,
but
Brunson.
it's just it's so far
It's
away.
just so far away.
So you really want to fight like almost every month?
Yeah, every other month it would be idealistic, so that way I can spend a little bit of time with the family and the body can get a little bit of rest. Just being realistic. But every other month, like realistically speaking, here from like my mental health and for the people around me, it's like if I fought every other month, it would be
Be better.
perfect. It'd be great for everybody in my life.
And what do you like for a 3-round fight? How many weeks do you like for a camp?
I don't need a count for three rounds. I don't
Yeah.
need a count for 5 rounds.
For-
We need 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all last year, he was taking those fights on, week notice, week and a half notice, and they were 3-round fights, and it's like, and now he was training, because we just get done fighting, and then you might fight again, come back to the gym, it's like he might take a week off, he might not, some of the times he wasn't taking a week off, he was just jumping back in the gym, and so he was just staying busy, and it's like, so he didn't really have a camp the whole year except for the last one.
Yeah, we had to camp the last one.
The last one
For Jacare.
For Jacare, we did.
It was Jack or Manson. And
Oh,
we were
that's
like,
right.
we're gonna get ready for Jack, and then they said I had COVID, so I just stayed in the house for a couple days, like about a week, and then we went back to the gym for a couple days, and then we had to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
So, it's like I don't know. I think if you train consistently, like people are like, oh, I'm getting ready for this fight. I'm getting ready for this fight. Fuck you. I'm getting ready for war. You know what I mean? It's like, who wants it? They can come get it. It's like you give me enough time to cut weight to 170 pounds. Coach don't like it, but if that's what it takes to catch a fight, I'll catch a fight. If I have to go up to 205 and my body can somehow make it happen, if I have to put little egg weights inside my draws, I'll do that. I've done that before to make 196. It's like whatever. It's like I just want to fight. It's like fight as much as possible.
Do you consider 170? Like, is there if they called you up?
I will, but to cut the 170, either A, I have to be sitting out and not having a fight coming up, and so I'm that pissed off that I don't have a fight coming up. I'm like, Coach, we just have to do this. And Coach would be like, all right, fuck it, we got to do it. Or
Kevin can make 170
for a
in
fight
2
that we
weeks.
like. Yeah,
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now,
Yeah.
you can make
Really?
170.
Yeah, as long as I'm not running around going crazy, and it's like, and the older I get, the less I eat crazy. It's like I used to eat, it's like the grandma box of cookies is like the vanilla ones. There are like 6 to 8 in them. I like the peanut butter ones. I used to eat a whole box, 6 packs of those one whole night. I don't do that anymore.
They're fucking good. They are good.
I
With
can't
milk?
handle it. Yeah, I can't handle it anymore. I don't even drink milk anymore.
Really?
It's like, so much peanut butter. We actually looked it up. If you intake too much peanut butter in your body, it fucks up your digestive system, your insides and stuff. So
Peanut butter?
Yes, it's fucking crazy. You can Google it. I've done way too much peanut butter over the years.
You've ruined your body with peanut butter?
I've ruined my body with peanut butter. It's fucked up, man.
How is peanut butter bad for you? I've never even heard of that before.
I never thought it was bad for you. I always thought it was good for you. And so it's like I'm just constantly eating peanut butter all day, every day.
I thought peanut butter is high in protein. Peanuts are good for you.
That's where I've been getting my protein at from years. And it's like
It was bothering your stomach though, right?
it's just tearing my stomach
Yeah,
up.
he
to
was
the point
having
where I
problems
couldn't
when he was
anything.
eating
But
peanut butter. It was
what
bothering
what
him.
form are you having peanut butter in?
Oh man, like
With what?
You name it, like peanut butter cookies, whether they're
Okay,
homemade,
but then you got cookies.
store-bought.
So here you got
Couldn't be the
flour
cookies
and
problem.
sugar.
Can't be the cookies
yeah,
problem.
and then I mean,
What else?
peanut butter was with everything.
Like what else that's
Like
bothering you?
Pop-Tart peanut butter.
Okay, you got fucking Pop-Tarts. You got sugar and you got flour. You got bullshit food. I don't think it's the peanut butter, bro.
Well, I mean, I wasn't just going.
Yeah, but if you were, I bet you'd be fine.
I probably would.
Because you're talking about your insides, you're talking about inflammation. You're gonna get that for sure from flour, from gluten, from sugar.
See,
Yeah.
should have fucking called Joe.
Yeah, I don't think it's the peanut butter.
So I can just take a spoon and just.
I mean, look, I'm pretty
I
far
think
from a
you need peanut
nutritionist,
butter.
but I do know that if you're having peanut butter with Pop-Tarts, I don't think it's the fucking peanuts.
Joe, you're gonna make me Google this right now. I'm telling you, it was because I switched it. I even switched up what I was putting peanut butter on. Like I'll just put peanut butter on this, and I'll probably feel better this
Like
week.
what else?
Yeah, it's
Cake?
no. Yes.
Peanut butter and cake.
Yes,
Can
I've
you
done
imagine
that.
what the hell went
Kevin, I
wrong
don't-
in the world that you started
Look,
eating peanut butter and cake?
I start smoking when I wake up, right? And then
Right.
by the time I go to bed, all I want is peanut butter on anything.
I
you
get
know?
it.
And it's like if I can't have peanut butter on something,
I understand that, but I really don't think it's the peanut butter.
it's the peanut butter, Joe.
Bro.
It's the peanut butter.
I'm 99% sure it's that other
Listen, if we
bullshit
can
that
get
comes
him to
with the
eat,
peanut
as
butter.
long as he's eating it.
Yeah. So is that a
Yeah,
thing with him? You
yeah,
have to get him
trying
to
to
eat?
get him to eat is hard.
Yeah,
honestly.
Well, you were
Coffee
saying
or
like
hot
you
sauce.
want him to have more than one egg with breakfast. Is that
Yes,
legitimately
yes,
what he
yeah.
has at breakfast?
I don't know. It's like I just hey, what'd you eat today? And they'll tell me, and it's like, okay, you need to go eat.
So UFC has a meal prep company that they work with, right? They do a lot of meal prep where they'll like the Performance Institute.
Icon Meals?
Yeah. Is that Icon? Is that
No,
who they
the
work with?
Performance
They work with
Institution?
someone else
That's
too.
Throne. Performance Institution is no, it's not Throne. Yeah, it is Throne. It's something like that.
I don't remember, but I know they do it with fighters. I think Kelvin, in one of his last UFC embedded episodes, they showed the meal prep that they have with him. I think.
Yeah.
Some fighters. I know that those plastic meal prep things.
Yeah, those things. Yeah.
So you get
Icon Meal
those?
makes some really good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like this ravioli trifecta.
Okay, trifecta.
That's
There
what
it
it
is. So that's the UFC's meal
Yeah,
prep
we get those
company.
every fight week. Fight week, they give us trifecta, and it's
Kevin doesn't like them.
You don't like them?
it's horrible, man. But it's
No peanut butter?
no peanut butter, no flavor in anything. But it's part of the program, so I eat it. It's just
He's not happy about it.
yeah,
Fight
it's
week.
like I eat that, and I don't even have to cut weight. I'm at 185 pounds just from eating that crap.
Really?
It's like, yeah, it's like, and then they put something on every meal that makes you poop. Every meal makes you poop. You eat, 10 to 15 minutes later, you got poop.
But isn't that probably good?
I already poop a lot. I don't need to poop any more than I already poop. You know, it's like, it's
not a problem.
After a certain time, it's too much poop.
I understand. Yeah, it can be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good though that you don't have to cut weight if you're taking that stuff. If you're eating trifecta meals, your energy's good.
Yeah, I feel, man.
He cuts a little bit of water. That's it's like it's like he's walking into Vegas at 196 pounds. It's like by the time he really starts cutting weight, it's like he's 192 or 93, but he's cut back. He's only eating what they're giving him, and then he rehydrates after. He cuts a little bit of water and weighs in, and he's good.
And when you rehydrate, do you have like a specific? Do you use certain electrolytes? Do you have something that you take? Trifecta as well.
Yeah. After that, the food's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, what about electrolytes? Like, do you drink a drink?
They have T1, T2, and then T3.
Oh.
And then it's like they have different things in them. They have like a little slip that has like all these different stuff that they put in there. Yeah. And one's salty, one's sweet, one kind of tastes like a beefed up Pedialyte. It's pretty good. I like it. It's the drinks are really good. It's the meals that you eat all week before the fight that suck. I just don't like it.
You just like things that are more flavorful.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, and you got to keep in mind, it's like fight week. He's not smoking, so it's like
nothing tastes good.
Nothing
really.
tastes good.
Skinny Fats tastes fantastic fight week. Skinny Fats. Shout out to Skinny Fats.
What's Skinny Fats?
It's right down the street from the little hotel that we stay at. There's a little place called Skinny Fats. They serve
yeah.
burgers and fried pickles.
Yeah. Oh, it's in Vegas?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Okay. What has it been like, this whole training and competing during the pandemic? Like, do you like fighting with no audience? Is it weird?
Yeah. It's like takes me back. It's almost like street fights, one-on-one. You just go out there, pop, 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 pop. Somebody pulls you off. You're like, oh, is this the police? Nope. It's the bro. It's time to be done. We're out of here. It's a wrap. I whoop his ass, collect a little cash. We're good, Seabass. That's all it is to it. I love it. Yeah.
Do you prefer large crowds, or do you?
I love a large crowd. I love a large crowd.
But it doesn't bother you to have no crowd.
Mm-mm. However you want it, we can get it.
I've been saying it's interesting calling those fights because you hear everything.
Everything.
You know? And I always feel like so lucky I get to be there. Like the Usman Gilbert Burns fight last weekend.
That was crazy.
I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, I can't believe I'm right here. Like, there's no one in here.
Yeah.
There's like 20 people in the whole building. I get to watch that.
Well, it's terrible for the fight. If you fight on the undercard, then you're like, they kick you out of that place, and you gotta go back to your hotel room, and it's like you can't watch the fights on the TV, so you're watching it on your phone.
Really? So if you're on the undercard, you can't watch from the dressing room?
They kick you out. It's like so it's like if you're there, it's like, so we're trying to watch the fights. It's like at the end of the day, we're all fans. We want to watch the fights, and we can't watch them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Why don't they have a a screening room?
They need to.
Fuck yeah, that place is giant. They have everything there.
We do fight, media, home.
Yeah, and then they send us back, and it's like, so it
Can't even stop again on the
it's like, if they just put the damn fights in the in the damn hotel room, that'd be okay.
Right.
It's like, but we can't even watch them there. So.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they used to have to watch them on the phone.
And they don't have the green room anymore.
Everybody's tested. This is what I don't understand. Like, once you get there, you're all tested, but yet all these people are still wearing masks.
Well, they make us.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, we have to wear a mask. We get tested 3 times at least before we go there. Everybody that's working there, you got tested. So
everyone's tested. That's what doesn't make sense to me.
So it's like, why do I got to wear a mask? Why can't I hang out and watch the fights?
Right. Once you're tested,
right.
I feel like you should just be able to sit down and watch the fights.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to sit down and watch some
Yeah.
fights.
Bring us some food too.
Yeah.
Food
How
would be
about
good.
that?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
It'd be amazing.
Is this get trifecta on standby? They should have like post-fight meals.
Yeah. Well, they used to. They used to have the green room.
Delicious chicken and waffles, like meatloaf, something
I'm
good.
getting hungry.
Right? Something good.
Before the
Steaks.
pandemic, they would have food, except for
the green
China.
room.
China, that wasn't food in China.
No.
No, that was terrible.
What did they get in China?
It wasn't food. It was just we couldn't get real food in China.
Like, what do you mean? What'd you get?
It was nasty.
God,
it's like
dude.
it was terrible.
That was
It's
bad.
like,
Really?
yeah, it's like even like
I like sushi, so
Put
I
it this way.
was
So
good.
we were there for Thanksgiving, and the UFC, like the brass there, was apologizing to us. You know, it's like we're there for Thanksgiving. We're having a Thanksgiving meal. The UFC is putting it on, and they're apologizing. Listen, this is as good as we could get.
What was it?
It was. Yeah, they had a turkey, but everything else.
Well,
sucked.
they got to eat a turkey.
Yeah, you didn't get to eat it.
I didn't get to eat
You was
shit.
cutting weight. It's like he didn't get to eat it.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
So that was the worst experience with food?
Wait,
Yeah,
oh,
I
by
got-
far.
almost got-
and
almost got
now
arrested
it's like
for
not.
ketchup.
What?
Yeah.
I
went
wasn't
off.
there for that.
Yeah,
you
you
almost
were at the
got
hotel.
arrested for ketchup. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Cool. Cowboy and Suge were like, Kevin, we're in a foreign country, bro. Calm down. I was like, fuck you. I want my ketchup. And I was like blocking the kitchen. And they were like, you can't do this. I was like, give me my fucking ketchup. And they were like,
Whoa.
no. And they were like, you need to sit down.
Why are we so amped up over ketchup?
We just got
Kevin
done
likes
cutting
ketchup.
weight. And I wanted
Oh.
ketchup and hot sauce for my eggs,
Oh,
and they didn't
I
want to
see.
give me ketchup. I found hot sauce, a little bottle. Just couldn't find any ketchup,
And this is in China.
Yeah.
China food's rough, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like it's just there's no incentive for anybody to it's like it's a problem with communism. It's like there's just no incentive. It's like and that's third, fourth generation communism.
They had good breakfast.
So-
The hotel had good breakfast.
No.
No?
I asked for. I liked it.
No.
They had cold French toast. It was good. It was good. I got used to it. I asked for salt and pepper. They brought me salt and paper.
Oh, no.
I was like, what do I
so
do?
That's not,
I thought you
that's
were
not
going to
their
write
fault.
something down.
I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
So what we could do to improve the UFC Performance Institute, the Apex Center, like have a room where there's
Yeah,
couches and a big ass TV.
We can social
let the
distance, it's
fighters.
fine.
Why do you even have to? I don't get it.
But
Everybody's
you know what?
fucking
But if they
tested.
give us food and let us watch the fights, then I'll social
I get
distance.
it, but
In
if
fact,
they-
I'm in favor of social distancing.
They're
It's like-
treating your favorite of it, but they're treating this virus like it's a demon. They're not. They're treating
no,
it
it's
like
so silly.
It's
man.
just a virus.
Yes.
It's not that much different from other viruses. It's just contagious and it's bad if you get it.
But I would
that's
guess
it.
it's the lawyers. The lawyers are
Must
probably.
be.
It's got to be the lawyers saying,
Has to
"Listen,
be.
you're going to be liable." Blah blah blah.
But they're loosening things up. It's more loose now than it's ever been before, particularly in Vegas. They're
They're
looser,
getting
but-
better?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting
Man,
better.
the
I was
last
just
time we
there.
were there,
Wasn't
it was when we were there in December. Was it December or November?
In December.
December. Yeah, that was the worst one.
Yeah.
We couldn't go out on our own. They had to go with
Yeah.
us. It's like if we went to the grocery store, they're driving you there in the car. You couldn't take an Uber. It's like
So
December
crazy.
was worse than the other months that we were there. But it's like I hope you're right. I hope it is better.
Well, look,
Whoa.
kudos to the UFC just for doing it.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
awesome,
when they
man.
first started doing it, when was the first fights? April
May.
or some shit? May?
May,
It's
I think.
When they first started having the first fights in Florida, everybody was like, "You're gonna kill everybody." Everyone was so scared. Everyone,
Yeah.
it was like such a weird thing that they were deciding to do this. But now every sport does it.
Right.
I mean, after a while, they're like, "Look, we gotta live."
Yeah, I was happy.
Well, you got to make money. It's like money
Yes.
makes the world go around, and it's like the money stops. Guess what? Food doesn't gonna.
Yes.
You got to pay for all this stuff. It's like the world. You have to make money. You've got to, and it's like you're shutting down the world is not a solution.
Well, also, if you're a 25-year-old fighter, that is you're in your fucking prime, and now you're gonna lose a whole year of competition. You're gonna lose if you're in California. You're really gonna lose a whole year of training, because unless you're just lying and locking the door,
And that's what they have to.
They
do.
have to.
They have to.
You're not
because there's no
allowed to
choice.
train. Like
No.
your jujitsu just goes away.
Yeah, it's like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali lost 3 years for the
Yep.
war, and it's like, and he never looked the same.
Never
You
looked the
know,
same.
he Never looked the
No.
same. It's like when he was beating up Floyd Patterson, or who's that other guy that wouldn't call him Muhammad Ali? Referred to him as Cassius Clay, and he just beat the shit out of him for 15 rounds.
Yeah, and then the Cleveland Big Cat Williams fight, which is the last fight before they took away his title for 3 years. But then when he came back after fighting Jerry Quarry,
Right.
his body just
Never looked the same.
looked soft. It just didn't look the same.
I read
Yeah.
that he didn't train. He
Yeah,
didn't
for 3 years at all.
He didn't run. He
No.
didn't do anything. And it's like, his first day back, he walks into the gym, puts on his gloves, and went and sparred, one of the contenders and beat the shit out of him. Okay, I'm good. I'll fight. And, it's like this another very, very special athlete. It's like, what the fuck? How does this
Yeah.
work? That you take 3 years off and you come back and still going to beat up most everybody.
It's too bad that he took that time off.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
unfortunate.
horrible that they stole from
3 years.
27 to 30.
Right.
At the prime of his career. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is like
That would suck.
with COVID, it's such a strange thing that in California they literally don't allow you to train. Like it's not like you could all get tested and then train. Like if they just had that rapid antigen test at the desk, you have to wait 15 minutes before you can train.
What's that cost though?
I don't know. I think they get it down to about $20 per test.
Yeah, but that's then you're adding that into your training costs.
Yeah, it's not good.
Lots of fighters couldn't afford to train.
It's not
like,
good.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not ideal. But I feel like it's better than nothing.
Listen, you got a fever, you got a runny nose, don't come in. It's like if you're healthy, you're not coughing, you're not, it's like you feel good, come train. It's like, and other than that, stay home.
Right. You're not grappling in a nursing home.
No.
Right.
It's like, it's like, and
You're
I
dealing with
understand
athletes.
it. I understand if you got a family that you got to protect and stuff like that.
Don't come in.
Don't
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah.
But don't tell me I can't come in.
That's the thing, right? It's the telling people what they can and can't do. And who are the people that are telling you what you can and can't do? And what are they basing it on? Because a lot of it's not based on science. Because if it was, they would not have ever blocked outdoor dining. They wouldn't have stopped that because there's no evidence that shows that outdoor dining is spreading it.
Well, did you see that lady in California that, and then the movie thing opened up beside her?
Yeah,
It's
she
terrible.
had an outside thing that she had spent thousands of dollars to set up for her restaurant, and they told her she has to shut down. And literally, when they told her she has to shut down, across the parking lot is this enormous setup for a movie theater.
Right.
And they're
No,
eating
not
outside.
movie theater, for a movie
Not
set.
a movie theater,
Movie set.
movie set. And they're eating outside because the movie unions, the filmmakers
Right.
unions, they all the different movie companies, they spend a lot of money and they influence politicians.
Right. And
crazy.
you know that they all want
dark.
to.
It's dark.
It's terrible,
fucked
because
up.
it's like this lady spent, I don't know how much money,
And she
It's
was
like,
barely hanging on.
right,
Barely hanging on anyway.
Did
That's
anybody help her?
I don't know. I think there was a GoFundMe. Yeah, there was a GoFundMe that helped her. But fuck those
But it's
people.
like, but
fuck
think
all
about
those
it. It's
people.
like it's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that
Yeah.
she's losing.
75% of all restaurants in Los Angeles don't exist anymore.
Yeah, where do people go eat now in LA?
Alberto's.
You got it. But that's the thing. Those fucking fast food places are still open.
Yeah,
You know, a lot of like
Alberto's.
bad, unhealthy choices are still open.
You can still go get carne asada fries.
of course.
For real, those things are good.
I'm sure they are.
It's hard to get in Texas. Have you tried to get carne asada fries since you've been
I've
here?
not tried to get carne asada fries. I generally don't fuck with fries.
What?
Yeah.
Fries?
I like a little every now and then. I'll have one or two.
Fries?
Yeah.
Joe, fries?
They're just not good for you. Listen, peanut butter, man.
Joe goes on. Joe goes on lots of different diets. He'll do the all meat diet. He'll do the vegan thing. You did the vegan thing for a little while, too.
Not really. No, I did. When I was in my Taekwondo days, I was a vegetarian for like 6 months.
Really?
To try to lose weight. Yeah.
Was your
Yeah.
Taekwondo days, was that during Fear Factor days?
No, it was before that.
Oh, okay.
This is
Yeah,
back when
that's
he
when I
was
was
in
a
high
kid.
school.
Hey,
When
you
he
was
was in high school.
You know, Fear Factor?
Yeah.
Man, that's the first TV show me and my mom ever like sat down and watched together, like
Really?
like wanting to watch. I'm not talking about like her making me watch Lifetime shit. I'm talking about like we wanted to watch it.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a fun show.
Cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You don't miss it?
No.
You wouldn't like just do it one
No,
more time?
No. It's over. I did so many of them. I did it for 6 years, and then it came back and did another 6 episodes.
Well, look,
It's a long fucking time, man.
I just wanted to let you know. Had you told me this was like my interview to get into a Fear Factor situation, when my transmission blew, I'd have put that bitch in reverse and drove it all the way here. Yeah, just like,
Well, you would tell everybody what happened. Do you have a 67 Impala?
yeah, I was smashing here. And,
Is it 67 or 69?
67? No, actually, it's 68. My bad. It's a 68. 68. My
Beautiful cars.
Yeah, my Bel Air is a 67. The Impala is a 68. And I was driving. I was going about 115. I was smoking, and I started seeing all this smoke. And I look around, and I'm like, yo, dude, this blunt is hitting hard. And like I turn around, and I'm like, oh shit, my car is smoking. So I pull over, and I look down on the bottom. It's a bunch of pink shit, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. I taste it, and it's transmission fluid. Okay, I didn't
Keep in mind
taste
that's
it.
this
I didn't
morning.
taste
That was on the way
but-
here.
Yeah, I was on the way here.
On the way here.
I was smashing. I was going like 115. You know, it was doing good.
Now, is that car set up to go 115? Like, do you have real brakes on it? Like,
Yeah. I got
discs?
disc brakes all the way around. I have I beefed up the motor. It's originally like a 350, 360, something like that. It's beefed up to like a 404.
So you're into cars.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm into spending money, Joe. You know,
Oh, yeah?
it's like Dana White said those were money pits, and he was like, get that car. So I was like, oh, money pit? And you telling me to get the car? So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. And they look really cool. And, like, man, they turn heads, you know, and it's like everybody's watching me. And
you don't have to tell me.
I love it.
I'm a big fan of those old cars.
Yeah.
I love them.
I love it. I got a 75 Dodge Plymouth at the house, too, a Duster. So while this one's down, I'll probably just hop in the Duster for a few days. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
When you came from Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series to the UFC, I don't understand why. This is just me. I like when guys talk a lot. I like a lot of shit talking. I think it's fun. I think it makes people interesting. It makes, especially in the sport, like the more attention, the more conflict, the more personality that you have, the more you're marketable.
Yeah.
But there was some tension with the UFC in the beginning.
It was during the fight, so it's like during the fight, you know, so quiet on the Contender, you can hear everything. And Kevin's talking. Kevin talks when he fights. I like it when Kevin talks because it means that he's relaxed, he's doing his thing. You know, it's a good thing. Dana did not like it.
I don't understand that.
Well, it's like, you know, Kevin, he felt like, you know, because I talked to Dana afterwards, and he's like, why didn't he finish him? And it's like, well, there wasn't danger. You know, it's like Kevin has to have danger. If there's danger, so it's like the quality of Kevin's gonna. If the level of fighter is here, Kevin will fight here. Okay. Mm-hmm. If the level of fighter is here, Kevin will fight here. Okay, and it just keeps going up and up and up and up. So the better the fighter gets, you know, the better Kevin's going to fight. If the guy isn't very good, it's not going to be a highlight reel knockout. You know, it's like, and that's nothing against the guy that we fought. I don't remember his name. You know, but it's like, you know, it's like that's nothing against him. It's just, you know, at that time and stuff like that, you know, he wasn't, you know, bringing out the best in Kevin. And it's like, you know, Kevin kind of needs that. You know, he needs to have a little fear, a little danger. You know, the chance that somebody can do something bad to him. In order for him to perform. If not, he'll just fuck around.
You agree with that, Kevin?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm self-defense. You know, it's like kung fu. You know, traditional martial arts, self-defense. Jiu-jitsu, it's supposed to be for self-defense. You know, it's like everything I do is self-defense. So it's like if you're not coming at me and giving me a real reason to fight, there's no real reason to fight.
But you're telling us guys now, they're like, I don't want to get fucked up. Maybe we'll just like
if they chill,
dance around.
I mean, you know, the old me would chill. The new me is like, I want all the smoke. You know, it's like I finally realized I really, really just like that's what keeps me good. And, you know, that's what keeps me going. Just going out there and having a good, hard fight. It's not about who wins. It's not about who loses. It's not about none of that. It's about going out there and having a great time. You know, this is a party, you know, and March 20th, I get to be the life of the party. That's the main event. So we're going to go out there and make sure that everybody's pleased and everybody had a good party. And we're going to have a good time. You know, if we can do that again like 6 weeks later, perfect. 4 weeks later, even better.
Well, you realize also, if you like to spend a lot of money, this is the best way to make a lot of money. To fight and be exciting. Dude, like, the more exciting you can be, the more marketable you are. But when Dana brought you back, when he's calling you Big Mouth, he brought you back, like, then you showed, like, regardless whether you talk too much, you could fight your fucking ass off.
Yeah.
And then I can't imagine you almost didn't get into the UFC.
Yeah.
That to me, that's bananas.
Right, it's crazy, right?
When I look at how good he's doing,
right,
and what a top contender you are, it's fucking crazy to me that just because of talking.
Right. Yeah, it's I like him talking. You know, it's like I've had other refs that, you know, like local.
I don't like
Texas
when referees tell you not to
talk.
talk.
It's like
Don Turnage.
That's not your job. That's not your job. That's not your job to tell.
My guy Don, he hates it. He's like, Kev, when I'm reffing you, just shut the fuck up.
No,
it's not.
But why?
You're not doing anything. There's no rules out there that say you can't talk. It's like,
why is it?
You know,
why do referees say that?
I don't know. It's a mistake. Let them fight. You know, Jack Johnson fought. When Jack Johnson fought back in the day, they said that he talked the whole fucking time. Yeah. You know, it's like he's talking shit. You know, it's like one of the best boxers of all time is out there talking shit. It's like, I like it that Kevin.
Muhammad Ali.
Right.
Yeah.
He's fucking with you.
Yeah. I mean,
what's my name?
Yeah.
Bam bam. You know, it's like, what's my name?
Always existed.
You ever played dominoes?
Existed. No.
Oh. Well.
I know people talk a lot of shit though. I've watched movies.
It's part of the culture, baby. It's what we do. You know, we talk some shit when we're having a good time. You know, you're competitive. You talk some shit. You're having a good time. You talk some shit.
Well, Connor constantly talks shit when he fights. Like it's like,
Khabib.
Yeah.
Khabib.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Khabib.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Let's talk now. And he's beating the shit out of him. Come on, let's talk. Let's talk now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand.
You think Khabib comes back?
I hope he comes back because selfishly, but I also hope he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't.
Part of me loves the fact that the guy retired
Yeah.
undefeated, mauled everybody they put in front of him, barely lost a round his entire career.
Right.
Went out with a hard-fought victory over a fucking super tough guy in
Yeah.
Justin Gaethje, and that's it.
Yeah.
Great story.
It's a great story.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
I
You know,
mean-
I hope it's over.
Could be
You know,
better.
It's like, you know, I would have liked to have saw him
Could beat Usman.
fight GSP. You know, it's like that would have been fun to watch.
No.
Him versus Usman, you think?
Yeah.
Wow. Goes
Double
up to
champ.
170?
Yeah, these days in time, you can't be the GOAT unless you're a double champ. Fuck it, be a triple champ. You know? It's like, do it. Do it. Do it. What's stopping you from doing it? You mauled everybody at 155.
Yeah, but I think
Never
with
been
him,
cut.
it's a different story. Like for you, I think that's very, very true. It's like, you know, the way that you think about things and stuff like that. This is somebody that, you know, it's like really, 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 like being undefeated was really, really important to him. You know,
Oh, I
it's
mean,
like,
yeah,
it's
that's
like, you know,
special.
it's just a different. He's a different, you know, kind of.
Floyd's
animal.
undefeated too, but he's not the greatest boxer of all time, right?
It's arguable he is. It's arguable he is.
I don't
mean,
think so.
Listen,
I-
man,
I feel
he's
like
been
he is. He's my
hit-
favorite,
He's been
but-
hit hard maybe 4 times his whole fucking career.
Right.
You stop and think about how many fights he fought
He's
against
got great
elite
defense,
guys.
amazing.
Not just great defense, like the best defense of all time.
Yeah, yeah.
You're talking about a guy who's fought everybody. He fought everybody. He fought Canelo. He fought Pacquiao. Maybe he didn't fight Pacquiao when he was in his prime, and maybe he fought Canelo when he was young and made him cut extra weight. He did some smart shit. But at the end of the day,
That's part of being a fighter, though, right?
yeah, at the end of the day, the fucking guy's 49 in Conor McGregor.
Yeah, right.
That's what he is. That's what I say.
49 Conor.
Yeah, because it's kind of
pretty good
weird.
record.
Yeah, but
It's
then
kind of
there's
weird.
somebody like Sugar Ray Robinson. You know, Sugar Ray Robinson.
Different.
Yeah, that's, you know,
Different
different
eras.
time, different time. What do you have?
He's lost it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, he lost 15.
I
So-
think Sugar Ray Robinson had somewhere in the neighborhood of 90 plus victories before his first defeat, though. What is like how many? Let's find
his
that out.
first
Something
his
crazy.
first defeat was wasn't it to Jack LaMotta?
Jake LaMotta.
Jake LaMotta?
Maybe.
How old was he? Was he already out of his
Maybe.
prime?
No,
That might have been
He
his
got
first
knocked out.
defeat. No,
He
I
got
don't think
knocked
he got
out?
knocked
he got
out.
knocked out. Yeah,
No, by
Dude.
LaMotta? I thought
Yeah,
he got knocked out by
LaMotta-
Billy Conn.
No, Jack LaMotta knocked him out.
Jake. It's his name is Jake LaMotta.
Jay-
I don't think
me
he
and
knocked
names
him
is
out.
terrible. So,
So,
it's like
I think he beat him in a decision in the first fight, and then Robinson beat the shit out of him in the second fight.
no.
Really?
Sugar
So-
Ray Robinson. They fought 6 times. and
I didn't know
Robinson
Jake
won
ever
them.
knocked him out.
Robinson fought him, beat him at the first time, and I think in the rematch is when
Jake
LaMotta
knocked him out.
knocked him out.
I don't remember that.
And
at
then
all.
and then in the 6th fight, he TKO'd Jake. But it was a standing TKO,
Yeah.
and he never got knocked off of his feet.
Right.
And that and he was talking shit to, well, you stopped me, but you didn't never. You
Never
never
put me
put me
down.
down. Never
Yeah.
put me down.
Yeah, that was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he went through the ropes and he's like leaning, just getting
Yeah, just getting beat the
pounded
hell
in
out.
the ropes. Yeah, that guy had a ridiculous chin.
Crazy.
Eating shots like that from Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah,
But wasn't that at middleweight too? And Robinson really started off at 147.
Yeah, I think it was lighter. I think he started
Really?
even lighter. It was 40.
See if you can pull up
44.
His record, Sugar Ray Robinson.
His Sugar Ray Robinson.
boxing record.
His record's like 200 and almost 200 fights. Crazy.
That's crazy. Why can't
Or
we get that many
200,
fights?
250, something like that.
How come we can't get that many fights in MMA?
Oh, it's more than that.
Well, in boxing, his 200th fight was look at that 173 19 and 6 against Joey Archer. That's his 200th fight. Go back to his first loss, or go back to the Jake LaMotta fights. You got to go way back. Stop. Those are all win. Jake LaMotta. So he beat him at 36-0, and then he lost unanimous decision. Yeah, I was right.
40.
And
what?
then he beat him again,
wrong.
unanimous decision. So he lost the unanimous decision to Jake LaMotta, and then he beat everybody else up into a draw
he
with
made it 40,
Jose
huh?
Basora rather.
So he made it to 40-0.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot more than that. So his 41st fight he lost. That was his first loss, and it was a decision to Jake LaMotta.
I guess Floyd really is the GOAT.
I think he's the GOAT. It's a different era. Here's the thing. It's like, well, you look at Mike Tyson when he was in. We just had this conversation yesterday on the podcast, but I think Mike Tyson in his prime, when he knocked out Larry Holmes, when he starched Marvis Frazier, like when he was just smashing everybody, I think he had reached this level that you can only maintain for a certain amount of years.
Yeah.
You know, whether like I think the same thing you could say for Fedor when he was in his prime, when he was running things in Pride.
Yeah.
There's a level that you could reach that you can only maintain for a certain amount of years, and it's real hard because. I think, this is what I said yesterday, I think if Muhammad Ali had been in the same era as Mike Tyson, he would have been better because Mike Tyson was around. You get better dependent upon who's around you. And when you're in an era, you're kind of defined by your competition. Ali was defined by Joe Frazier and defined by George Foreman and all the guys
Larry
that he
Holmes.
fought, Ken Norton, all those guys that he fought in his era. But it's a different era with Tyson. It's a different era
but you're
now.
also forgetting that he beat, Floyd Patterson. It's like before, like all the fights that he had before he, came
Sure.
back. But those just weren't competitive.
Right.
He was so fast. He hit so hard. Beating Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston's,
He was
big.
a murderer back then.
Yeah, he's freaking
Killer.
It's like
He destroyed Floyd Patterson
twice.
Yeah,
Twice in the
destroyed
first
him.
round, right?
He was you couldn't get hit by him. You just
Right.
couldn't get hit by him.
Yeah,
he had
it's-
giant fucking hands.
A guy that was close to the mafia. It's
Mhm.
like so he beat all those guys. It's like
Yep.
it's like so maybe if he doesn't have that 3 years off, maybe
Yeah.
maybe who knows? But
Who
he
knows?
did. But
Yeah.
he did.
And it's also he was a different cultural figure, right? Because when you look at like his impact on society and civilization, he stood for something.
Right.
He was a guy who was like, I'm not going to fight in this fucking war. It doesn't make any sense. They took his title away from him, and the people loved him.
Yeah.
It's a different.
Well, it's
different scene.
Well, you had about 50% of the population hated him,
Right.
and then 50% of the population loved him and thought he was
Yeah.
the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's like I ain't going over there to fight any Viet Cong. They didn't do anything to me.
Yeah.
And it's like he's a very, very interesting figure. And then you got somebody like Joe Frazier. Very, very good fighter. Won the Olympic gold medal. Was an alternate going into the Olympics, and the alternate. I forget what happened over there. He ended up not fighting. Joe fought. He won the Olympic gold medal. They actually rematched as pros, and then Joe stopped him. I fourth or fifth round.
Wow.
But he was a beast. And then George Foreman. It's like that's a guy that didn't ever put on a pair of gloves till he was, I think, 19 years old, right?
That's crazy.
It's like 19 years old. Think about that. There's just not that many guys that have, it's never put on a pair of gloves till they're 19 years old and then get to that level.
Well, that's the Deontay Wilder story too.
Is it?
Yeah, Deontay Wilder boxed for a year and a half before he won a bronze medal in the Olympics.
Okay. George Foreman won the gold medal in the 70s. When it's like when it was even I think harder, to win the gold medal because of the Cubans and the Russians. It's like because they never went pro and stuff like that. You had that
Right. Teofilo Stevenson.
Right, so it's like I think it was the '76 Olympics that he won the gold medal, and he was like 24 fights as an amateur. That's all the fights he had, never lost.
That's nuts.
And it's like and just crazy.
He fought just 20 times as an amateur before traveling to Mexico City for the 1968 Olympic Games. Amazing.
And never lost. And then so that like think about that. This guy's walking through guys like Joe Frazier, and then he fights older Muhammad Ali, and then gets knocked out in the eighth. It's like crazy. He believed that he was invincible. Arguably the hardest hitter ever.
Yeah.
It's like, what would have happened to Mike Tyson? We might not have known who Mike Tyson was if he would have been around in those days. It's like,
Who knows?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Mike Tyson would have smashed him.
Yeah, you just don't know.
He was faster than everybody. The thing about Mike Tyson as a knockout fighter, if you watch like the Marvis Frazier fight, or
I don't
you
think he was
watch-
faster than Muhammad Ali, though.
I don't think he was faster.
Muhammad's feet were so fast. Because
I don't think he was faster than Ali.
You
in
got to
his
think
prime.
back to when he fought Sonny Liston, or when he fought Floyd Patterson. You got to think of
Different.
how his feet were
Right.
then.
But the 3 years afterwards, I think he was faster than when he fought, like when he came back.
You think that Mike Tyson was faster than that
Yeah.
version of? Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But Ali was a different animal. Like no one had been around before him that was a heavyweight that moved like that. They didn't exist.
Well, Andy
Like
had
no one.
probably the best chin ever.
Oh, an amazing.
He wasn't
chin.
that heavy for a heavyweight, though, right?
No,
No, he fought.
No.
He the Olympic gold medal he won was cruiserweight.
was it?
Yeah, he didn't fight at heavyweight. He moved up to heavyweight for when he turned pro.
Who was the English guy that knocked him down and they cut his gloves?
George.
No.
Yeah, it's George.
Was it George?
Yeah, it was George.
The English guy?
George.
I'm trying to remember. He was a British gentleman who had a really good left hook, and he caught him with a left hook and dropped him and had him in all kinds of trouble. And
then there was a tear in his glove. Tear in his glove. George starts with an H, if I remember right.
They tore his glove. Why did they tear his glove?
He had a small little rip, and his corner, what's his trainer's name? Tore the glove a little bit.
Yeah.
And they tried to find a pair of gloves, and it halted the action of the fight for about 5 minutes. And it gave Muhammad Ali time to clear his head. And then they resumed the fight. They never found another pair of gloves to put on him in the middle of the rounds. Think about this. This is like,
wasn't it Henry something?
Yeah, Henry. You're
That's
right.
good cornering.
Henry Cooper. There it is.
That's
yeah.
good cornering.
Yeah, it was good cornering.
And it's like, and then he went out there and he stopped him
Angelo
on cuts.
Dundee.
Yeah, he stopped him on cuts, and I don't remember if it was the next round or the following round.
Yeah.
But he cut really, really easy. They said they had his skin; he'd just get bumped.
See if you can find that fight when Henry Cooper drops him, because it's crazy. He hurt him.
He looks dead. His ass hits, and he pops back up.
Yeah.
It's like when Joe Frazier dropped him, it's like his ass hit and he pops right back up.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He looks dead.
His chin was incredible.
It's amazing.
But no one's got a crazier pop back up story than Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. That looked like it was over for sure. I remember I was watching it in TV. I was watching it in bed. I had my feet up, and in the 12th round, I jumped up. Oh! Like, I thought it was over. I'm like, he knocked him out in the 12th. And when Deontay's going like this, and you see Tyson laying on his back, 7, 8, and then he just gets up. I'm like no
nothing. And then
way.
outboxes him the rest of the fight.
Outboxes him and wins the rest of the round.
Okay.
Crazy.
Remember when
see if we can find Henry Cooper KO.
Randleman suplexed Fedor.
Yeah, and then
it's
Fedor got him in a Kimura.
Literally, it was like nothing happened.
Yeah.
It was like, and he rolls him over and Kimura's him. It's
Yeah.
like, what the hell? The Terminator freaking
Fedor
almost died.
When he was in his prime, he was something really special, man.
He was so fast.
Remember when he fought Crow Cop and a majority of the fight? Yeah,
backing him up.
Majority of the fight was a kickboxing match, and he was backing up Crow Cop, which
backing
is
him
crazy.
up because he was faster.
Crazy.
He was faster than Crow Cop.
And that was when Crow Cop was just at his peak.
Yeah,
He
it's
was
like
a fucking assassin.
left leg hospital, right leg death, or
right leg hospital, left leg cemetery.
Cemetery.
Remember when he knocked out Vanderlei?
Oh my god!
Just dropped him in his.
That head kick that hurt me watching that. It's like that was so painful. It's like
there's a video of him when he fought Heath Herring, and there's a still from that video where you see his shin. He dropped Heath Herring with a left kick to the liver.
Yeah,
and you see his shin like halfway into Heath's body.
It looked like it broke his ribs.
Just like sunken deep into his body.
Yeah, he's a big kicker.
Oh my god!
Yeah, Heath fought Brock Lesnar when he first came in, didn't he?
No, Alistair did.
Alistair
fought Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Remember?
No.
Heath Herring did. Heath Herring did.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Heath Herring fought
Heath
Brock.
Herring did. Yeah. Heath Herring did, and he beat Heath Herring, and then Frank Mir tapped him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Got him in that.
I thought you were talking about Crow Cop.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That was Gabriel Gonzalez.
Oh, see, back it up. So we can see the punt.
Boom.
Bro, he was in trouble. Back that up again. But just do it from the beginning. Do it from. It's okay, right here.
Boom.
Wow.
Woo.
That's the same left hook that
Stylebender?
Yeah.
Stylebender got clocked with.
Exactly.
God, let me find out the left hook is just the kryptonite of the greats.
Left hook is the left hook, man. No matter who the fuck you are.
I'm about to go.
Somebody lands one like that.
About to go.
So you said you have this background in Kung Fu, but do you have someone that you work with that puts together your striking combinations and trains you in all the various disciplines of striking, or do you piece it together yourself?
No, I just we just have fun.
You just have fun.
Just have fun.
He's got Suge that he's working with. It's like Suge's holding mitts, and they're going through all that. He goes down there and works with Bob down in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Bob holds mitts, and then he spars.
So you don't have like a lead striking coach that like puts everything together?
No, we tried. The guy just wouldn't stop drinking and doing his own fucking thing. So, just didn't work out. Could have been great.
Texas got a lot of fucking talent. It's really interesting. So, I mean, you got Charles Oliveira, who's out of Texas. Obviously.
He's tough, man.
Yeah, fuck, he's good.
Yeah, he's tough.
Watching him do that to Tony, I'm like, I can't even believe what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Just dominated every second of that fight. It was bananas.
Tony's that's a different human. You know, it's like Tony's tough. Mentally tough. I think, he's like, as far as talent, it's like, I think his toughness is way above his talent's pay grade.
Well, he first of all never gets tired, which is bananas.
He's great.
He gets in wars and never gets tired.
Right.
He's got an iron chin. When Oliveira got him in that arm bar and he wouldn't tap in the arm bar, and then he tucks it under his arm,
right,
and leans
back. Yeah, it's
back
like, how did that not break?
It might have.
And then I was talking to him after, and I was like, dude, that shit was crazy. He was like, that amateur ass arm bar, that was amateur hour.
That's what Tony said?
I was like, how is that amateur? You almost broke your...
Tony is so crazy.
I was like, you're right, Tony.
He just refuses.
He's tough.
Yeah.
Mentally super tough.
Eddie Bravo trained with him. He went to when they were out at Big Bear. And he said they were running hills, and Tony would literally lap his training partners, like lap them up hills. So he'd run to the top of the hill, come back down, and pass them because they were on their way up the first time.
Golly.
Just crazy work ethic.
Yeah.
He said never seen anything like it. He goes, the guy's trained 6 hours a day, hard.
Yeah.
Just can keep going.
Mentally tough.
That's wild.
Yeah. That would have been an interesting fight to see him versus Khabib, but the way Oliveira controlled him on the ground.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been interesting. Yeah, after watching that.
We wanted to know, what would happen because Tony's dangerous off of his back. Like submitted Kevin Lee.
Right. No, he's got good jiu-jitsu.
Nasty elbows.
Yeah. He's tough. He's very, very, very tough.
I think I'm more interested in seeing Oliveira fight for the title than anybody in that division.
Yeah, he's got.
How do you think Oliveira versus Khabib would have went?
I don't know.
Same thing that would have happened to everybody else.
You think so?
I think so. It's like Khabib's just too good. Yeah, I think Khabib's to go to that division. For me.
Yeah. I believe so. I believe he's to go to that division, but I don't know what would happen with Oliveira until you see it. See, with Oliveira, like there are moments like when Cub Swanson knocked him out. There's moments when you go back in his career and you go, oh, well, this guy's not the greatest. And then you see him in some fights, like the Kevin Lee fight. We submitted Kevin Lee, put him out, and then Kevin wakes up and thinks he's still fighting.
Right.
Submits Tony in a spectacular way, and just he's so technical.
Yeah.
Like everything's so good. He's never out of position. Everything's so he doesn't force anything. Everything looks fucking amazing.
His jiu-jitsu looks really good.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. And you go, man, I want to see him fight for the title. I want to see him fight Dustin. I want to see him fight Conor. I want to see him fight whoever else is in that division.
I don't think Conor's going to be a contender anymore, though.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. It's like, I'm sure he'll make money and, he'll probably fight a few more times if he wants to. But it's like, I just, it's like he I think time has probably taken its toll.
Do you think that's it, or do you think it's just money and motivation and spending a lot of time out of the sport? I mean, look, he's training for Floyd, so he's boxing for a long time. Right. Then he takes 2 years off. He's fighting Khabib.
Right.
And then he beats Cowboy, but just swarmed him, him, jumped on him real quick, hurt him quick, and stopped him.
Cowboy was always a slow starter.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's just maybe it's time, maybe it's desire, maybe I don't know. I don't have the answer, but I think the time has come and went.
It's easy to say that after you see the result, right?
Yeah.
But what's interesting in that fight is there's moments in that fight where he was having big success, and he hurt Dustin at one point in time with a big left hand.
Yeah.
But that fucking low calf kick.
Yeah.
That low calf kick is a beast.
Yeah.
That's a.
It changed the look on his face.
Yeah.
I think me personally, I'm a Conor fan, so probably I go a little biased on it, but I think it's more so that time, that time going to boxing and then coming over, first fight back, fighting Khabib, and then you take time off and then you come back and then you fight Cowboy, and then pandemic comes, you get a whole nother year off, and then you come back and you fight Dustin Poirier. Let's think about his last few fights. Let's think about his last 3 losses. You got Floyd Mayweather, right? Arguably one of the greatest boxers of all time. If not, definitely the best defensive boxer of all times, right?
Yeah.
And one of the smartest boxers of all times as far as how he did his career. And then you lose to Khabib.
Yeah.
You say it's the greatest 155er ever. Even won a round against Khabib. Probably drunk off his whiskey as well, Then you got the Dustin Poirier fight. I think he's pretty serious about the Dustin Poirier fight. But I think at the same time, I think he's thinking bigger than what he was at the time. I think he's thinking about boxing Pacquiao and doing all these other things that he goes in there with. My hands are this fantastic, and it's time to show you guys that Max Holloway's not the best boxer. He gets chopped at the leg. Now it's hard to move. Yeah, it's hard to move. You can't. It's hard to defend a takedown. It's hard to grapple. It's hard to box. It's hard to do anything. You know, me personally, I never thought an Irishman could get knocked out until then. You know, so fucking crazy night. You know. But yeah, I don't necessarily think it's over for the guy. I just think the guy has to not take a rich person's approach. I think he has to take more of an approach that he took back in the day when he was on welfare.
Right.
Go out there and get it. Stop telling everybody what your training schedule is going to be, and just fucking do what the fucking gym tells you to do.
Well, he was pretty fucking rich when he fought Eddie Alvarez. You know, he was already a multimillionaire. It's not. I don't necessarily think it's a rich thing. I don't know if that affects him that much, but I do think it's inactivity, and I do think that Dustin got a lot better. And Dustin's. Yeah. At 145, Dustin was depleted and diminished. At 155, he's fucking huge. He doesn't even look like a 55er. He looks like a 70.
Yeah,
his back is fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
And Dustin, look at Dustin's series of victories. Look at the people that he beat. Beat the shit out of Max Holloway, right? That's crazy.
But that was at 155, not 45.
Right, but still, you're still Max Holloway.
Yeah, he beat him. He beat him.
And beat him with what Max Holloway is best at, which is stand-up. I mean, you see what Max Holloway did to Calvin Kattar. Like, Jesus Christ, Max Holloway's stand-up is outstanding. So he beats him.
For whatever reason, he looked a little bit slow in that fight.
Max did.
Yeah, I thought Max looked a little bit off when he fought Dustin.
Might be gaining the weight.
Yeah, it's like he was a little bit slower. It's like, you know, that last fight he looked so fast, and some of the other fights, like
but it's also Alto and he's fighting Dustin.
Styles make fights.
Dustin's fucking good, man.
Oh, Dustin's very good.
He's fucking good.
And but he's not Khabib. He's not. You know, he's not. You know, he's like, he is good, but it's like he's.
You think it was other wins the rematch? You think hands down Dustin again?
No, I would never say hands down. You never know, because Conor did have moments in that fight. He had moments in the first round, and Dustin said there was a moment in that first round where he got his bell rung and he was in trouble. Now imagine if Conor connects again.
Right.
Imagine. I mean, that's how fights are. Fights are weird. Weird things happen.
Loose Conor. Conor who plays touch butt in the park is a great Conor. You know, he's moving and he's fucking throwing those spinning heel kicks and shit.
The thing is, though, he's heavy on that front leg, wide karate stance. He's always doing this. He's always doing this, man. When that leg is available for that low calf kick, that changes everything. Changes your whole approach. And Conor is also a guy that's never been known to like switch back and forth. He doesn't like to have left leg forward. That's not a common thing for him.
No.
So once his leg's getting chewed up, you know, it's not like he's got that option. Like he can fight just as good from orthodox.
No, and it's probably worse from orthodox now that all he does is work on his boxing.
Right.
You know, and it's like the things that he probably used to do from a switch stance, you know, different kicks, different setups. It's probably not there anymore. You know, he's probably really, really great fighter from that one stance. But now, when you take him outside of that stance, he probably becomes, you know, almost like a C or D grade fighter.
Well, they're talking about doing that fight again, which a lot of people in that division are pissed because they're like, "Well, what the? You guys are tying up the championship.
Do it."
Because it's not really the championship.
They don't want the belt.
The championship has not even been decided whether or not Khabib's going to step down.
Yeah.
So then there's been talk. Well, they might do it again, but they'll do it for the belt.
No, I think Charles and Chandler for even an interim belt, just some type of belt. Charles and Chandler makes sense. People probably can get mad about that because the Chandler's barely coming from Bellator over to UFC, but come on, dude. He just knocked out Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
He didn't take him down and smashed him, which we all thought he was going to do. He knocked him out.
One punch.
With that left hook that we talk about, right?
Yep. Yeah. Beautiful. Left, long one, too. Long left hook.
Yeah. So,
touched him to the body with the right hand, then left hooked him.
The Bronx guy, you know, Charles, you know, he's been doing great. He deserves to fight for a belt. So him and, you know, Mr. Bellator fighting for a belt, I think it sounds good, and I think
a lot of people even Dustin fighting for the belt.
Well, does that make sense?
Poirier's trying to make money right now. He's not worried about the belt.
Andy
Let him make his money.
He lost to Khabib, so it's like, you know.
But he lost to Khabib. You know, he almost submitted Khabib. You know, he had Khabib in a really tight guillotine.
Yeah,
he did.
You know, I mean,
he took him into deep water for sure.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Khabib probably farted 2 times in that guillotine. You know what I mean? And it's like, when you get choked real hard, it's like, you know what I mean? And then you pass over and you're good to go. You know.
What do you do with Justin Gaethje? Because Justin
Gaethje just got he got subbed. His performance, I like Justin Gaethje, but his performance against Khabib was fucking embarrassing.
I don't know if it's embarrassing.
I don't
wouldn't
think
go
it's
that
I think it was
far.
embarrassing.
It's like,
He
nah.
fucking
just-
ran the whole
he
time.
mauled
If I
him.
run like that against
Man.
Derek Brunson, that's a problem. Don't run from somebody just because they're good.
But
But he's
that-
got to keep
he
a way to
hurt.
land those leg kicks.
Yeah,
he was hurting him with the leg
he
kicks.
Jab.
definitely
Throw
hurt
a
him.
fucking jab. What's wrong with the jab? Nobody throws jab.
Okay, I
Throw a
want you to
jab.
remember that. I want you to remember that.
Okay,
You just said that.
thank
gotta
you.
Throw the damn
Oh,
hook. Throw,
shit.
throw the damn jab. Throw the damn jab.
Shit, I set myself up. But yeah,
no.
I from everything I seen from Justin Gaethje and then that fight, I was like, oh fuck that, dude. I ain't got
You didn't like it.
I lost money on that shit. Hell yeah.
What do you think about Gaethje versus Chandler?
That's a good fight.
That's
That'd
a
be
good
fun.
fight.
That's
That's
a
a
good
good
fight.
fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good fight.
Yeah, that's a good fight. This is my thing. Gaethje just has to go get a win. Gaethje go gets a win, then
Right.
you know
then he can fight for the title. He
Yeah.
can do that.
Right.
he
so-
gets a win. He
winner,
fights
too.
for the title. You know, it's
He
like
looks good.
Well, if he beats
Yeah.
Chandler, that's a
Yeah.
big win for him, right?
Yeah.
Chandler.
he
Chandler's,
can't
you
fight.
know, it's like
Dustin Poirier right now, though. If Poirier was fighting for the belt right now, you would say that Justin Gaethje deserved to fight Dustin Poirier for the belt. Poirier's already knocked that man
No,
out.
I would say if anyone's going to fight for the belt, it should be Dustin Poirier versus Charles Oliveira. That's
Yeah.
what I think is for the belt.
Yeah.
That makes sense. If Khabib says, I am done, 100%, I'm going to relinquish my
I
belt.
think
That
he
makes
said
sense.
that a couple times.
Yeah, but Dana won't let him. Dana keeps waiting. Dana keeps holding on.
I'm done. No,
Yeah.
no,
if
you're
you're
not done.
if you're
Yeah.
Connor, you have to be so butthurt right now. You know, like the guy that you just truly don't like. You know what I mean? Think about it. Dana's letting him keep his belt and do everything that he wants to do. You went up and got the second belt, weren't inactive or anything like that, and he made you give your shit up. You're sitting there just fucking pissed right now. And you can never even rematch him again. You just got knocked out. Khabib's never going to rematch
Well,
you.
Khabib is at the peak of his superpowers right now. The peak of his superstar status, the peak, worldwide notoriety. He's at the peak.
Yeah.
You know, the way he smashes Conor and the way he taps out Gaethje to go from there to just saying that's
and
it.
Poirier.
Yes, and Poirier, 3 in a row. So and that's 3 amazing guys in a row. So for him to be in this situation where he's like, I'm gone, that's it. So many people are like, man, but you are like, that's where the money is. Like you're right there. Like you could be making tens of millions of dollars per fight for so many fights, and he's still in his prime as an athlete. You know, he's
Yeah.
How old is he now? 32?
I believe he's 32, maybe
Yeah.
33 at the most.
I would like to see the double champ status. At 55, I don't feel like there's anything else to prove. You know what I mean? It's like he's ran through everybody at 55. I feel what Demetrius Johnson was saying about rematches, but that's a greater risk than the reward. You know, it's like I
Yeah.
feel like Usman's looking fantastic. Never lost in the UFC, right? Only one loss on his record. He's looking great.
Yep.
You go out there and you maul Usman. It's like now there's no question. You don't ask if John Jones is better than Khabib. You know what I mean?
How much
Right.
taller
It's
is
just
Usman's a big fella.
how much bigger is he?
He's got muscles that I didn't even know people had.
doesn't matter.
You see, like when I was interviewing him and I'm looking at him on the monitor, I'm like,
I don't like
he-
Usman.
he's so
Big old
shredded.
neck.
I don't like that guy.
How do you not like Usman?
He went to school in Arlington, right? Arlington, Texas,
I believe so.
right? How often
Think
do you
that's what it was?
How often do you hear him claiming it? Like, how often do you hear
Claims Dallas.
that's not Arlington?
Oh,
It's like the Dallas Cowboys. They fucking play in Arlington.
so you
it's like-
don't like the fact that he doesn't claim Arlington?
Yeah, I'm just a different guy from a different place,
Okay.
and where I'm from, you don't claim where you're from, you don't get respect from me. I just don't, it's like he's a good fighter, it's like, but
good.
yeah, it's good.
Just good.
Just good. None of these guys are great. These
You don't
guys
think
all say
Usman's
they're-
great?
They all think they're great. There's like a top of the mountain, right? I was talking to Stylebender about this shit.
Okay.
There's a top of the mountain. Everybody thinks that they're at the top of the fucking mountain. There's no such thing as the top of the mountain. If you think that you're at the top of the mountain, that means your mountain's stopping at a certain spot, and somebody else's mountain's gonna get higher than that. There's no such thing as the top of the mountain. Usman's a very good fighter. Great fighter? No, he couldn't go out there and win a boxing match. He couldn't go out there and out wrestle the best wrestler. He couldn't go out there and do the best against the best of everybody. You're not the
He's
greatest.
NCAA Division II champ, right?
Yes.
Yes. So he won a championship.
Right now?
Well, I don't know about
No,
today,
now
but-
he's the UFC
Olympic
undisputed
gold medalist?
welterweight champion
No,
of the world.
no,
Olympic gold medalist?
Well, that's Henry.
No.
That's Henry.
No,
it's
he
like-
decided.
That's
decided to
DCT, right?
fight in
No,
MMA.
DC never won.
No?
No.
He decided to fight in MMA instead of pursuing wrestling.
I mean, I feel it, but
DC.
I mean, my personal belief. This is just my belief. It's okay for me to be wrong here. This is just my personal
I
belief.
understand.
It's like nobody's great. Nobody's great.
Nobody's great.
Nobody's fucking great. When you retire, you can say you had a great career, but nobody's great. No such thing. You know,
No
it's
such
like,
thing as greatness.
No such thing as greatness.
What about Mighty Mouse when he's at the peak of his powers?
Fucking fantastic.
As good as it gets, technically.
Yeah, he's so
As good as it gets
Yeah,
technically.
he might be like in terms of like the ability as a mixed martial arts fighter. He might be the best ever because he would.
Yeah.
He would just,
What weight is he?
he's tiny.
125, right?
Yeah, 125.
Yeah. It's like what weight does the Gervonta Davis fight at?
30? No, 35. Yeah, Gervonta's 35 because that's
Who's 25? Name a 25 boxer. A boxer close to 25. I want Demetrius to go out there and outbox that guy.
Well, Mighty Mouse, it's like, I mean, the thing with Mighty is I think he was really, really technically really, really good. I don't believe that he's near as athletic as like Henry.
No.
It's like, he doesn't have the, he's just not as natural of an athlete. And that's not a knock against him. It's like, we're all given, it's like whatever we have or God-given talents, whatever you want to say. I don't believe that he was that physically gifted of an athlete. I think he's very, very, very gifted. He definitely is way above average, but he's not in the same realm of, it's like you.
Yeah, and then that's
Kevin. It's like this
that's
is a
another
different
reason.
time.
That's another reason why they can't be great.
Yeah.
You can't be great. Nobody has it all.
John Jones, great.
Fucking good, not great.
What?
Steroid allegations. Fucking. He has a loss on his record for not doing the right move. It's like at the end of the day,
does he though?
It's like
that's a lot of horse shit.
It's still there.
Yeah,
it's still there.
understand.
I mean,
they tried to get that taken.
There's a couple decisions that I feel like I didn't lose, but it's still there.
Yeah,
It's like a loss is a loss.
Yeah.
A fuck up is a fuck up. It's like
John Jones. It's like he's probably the most physically gifted athlete.
and
like
probably the smartest.
It's either you or him. It's like I've never trained with him. It's like I really think that he's probably the.
I bet you
gifted.
Khabib's a fucking
Yeah,
a
he's
different
got
type
to
of
be.
athlete too.
Yeah,
The way that he can move DC around when they're wrestling,
Yeah.
he has to.
it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
a 155-pounder wrestling with a heavyweight. And
Well,
it's like,
everybody in the gym says that, whether it's training with Luke Rockhold, when Rockhold's a light heavyweight,
Right.
he's throwing him around.
yeah,
Like
it's
he's just a freak.
Yeah.
it's freak.
Yeah.
But okay, but it's like as far as like, like John Jones isn't crazy fast. It's like that's his
Right.
biggest hole is he's like it's like he's not as fast as some of the other guys and stuff like that.
But he knows how to win.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
John
definitely knows how to
Jones
win.
knows how to win.
Well, and I
Yeah.
really believe that he's very, very physically gifted. It's
What
like,
do you think about him at heavyweight?
it'll be interesting, right? It's like we'll just have to wait and see. It's like he's going the big route. Getting big, getting strong.
Yeah.
Starting to look like his brothers. It's like it'll be interesting to watch and see.
Well, interesting to see how that affects his cardio too. Like,
Right.
how's that gonna? You're carrying around legitimately an extra 30 or 40 pounds of body weight.
But he's got the frame to carry it.
Oh, yeah,
it's like,
100%.
It's like he's look
Oh,
at
yeah.
his brothers. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
those
they're
are
all huge.
freaking monsters.
He's
Yeah.
doing a lot of lifting though, but what's those legs look like, John?
It's the calves.
What's those legs look like?
The calves are crazy. But he can do deadlifts. Like, he's deadlifting a lot of weight. He's
Right.
obviously got strong legs.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how small his calves are. It doesn't
It's
even
just-
make sense.
Just genetics. It's like either you have them or you don't.
I know,
And he
but-
just doesn't have them.
But it's weird.
Yeah.
It's but when you think about distributing mass over a 205-pound body when he was a light heavyweight champion, it actually was a great frame.
His legs are looking a little bigger.
Yeah, they're definitely looking bigger.
Oh yeah, he looks way. It's like there's that other scene where I saw him with his shirt off, where it's like, God damn, he's big.
Yeah, he's big.
yeah.
Yeah, big,
No,
big,
he's
big.
getting big. I mean, he's a legit 245 now, probably.
Wow.
That's a
maybe even
heavyweight.
250. He's a heavyweight. He's a legit heavyweight. I mean, Cain Velasquez, when he was at his peak, was
230.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cain was smaller than that.
Yeah. That was crazy how.
I think he coulda did that back in the day.
Cliff that he fell off of was so steep.
Well,
And
that
it
was
like-
injuries, man. I think his mind was so strong that his body just couldn't keep up with his
Yeah, just
brain.
injuries.
And everything started going south. His knees, his shoulders, his back, his
Everything.
neck, everything. Just slowly but surely, it all started falling apart.
He's a beast, though.
Dude, when he was in his prime in the UFC, I maintain I've never seen a heavyweight like that guy.
The cardio that he had.
It was insane. It didn't make
that
any sense.
Didn't
He
look
had
natural.
Cardio
Didn't look
like
natural.
a 135-pound guy.
It's crazy. It's
And
like
he's
he
huge.
could shoot,
Yeah.
push.
Yeah, he'd
not
put a
get tired.
pace on guys, and you just see this look on their eyes. Like, it's similar to sometimes when guys fight Khabib. They have this look like they can't believe what's happening to them.
Yeah.
Like they had this idea of what the fight was going to be like when they were preparing for it, and then here they are, and it's just they can't keep up. They know they can't keep up. It's not possible.
But okay, like with Gaethje, it's like when those leg kicks hurt him, it's
Yeah.
like, and then all of a sudden there was another gear that he hit with that that last leg kick, and boom, oh fuck, I'm not gonna take any more of those. I'm gonna just put you on your head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take down this guy, and
Yeah,
make him
amazing. Yeah, like the sport is it's so interesting seeing where the sport is now as opposed to where it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. There's not a sport like it.
It's always evolving.
Always.
Dude, what do you think these kids are going to be like in 10 years?
I know, right?
It's going to be fucking crazy.
I mean, I was watching
We
a
might be able to start
video.
talking about great then.
Pull up this video from Mick Maynard's account. Mick Maynard has a video on his account of a little girl. This girl looks like she's about 3 years old.
The one boxing?
Yes, and
Yeah.
kicking and kicking and throwing kicks. And, I mean, it's just insane. She's so good at like 3 years old. Throwing perfect kicks, perfect punches, lightning fast. I mean, maybe she's 4. I don't know. But she's tiny.
I don't know,
Look at this.
but
Look at this. Look at this
my
kid
son
right
needs
here.
to watch this
Give me
and get
some
his stuff
volume on
together.
this because this is crazy.
I did see this.
Look at this.
I did see this.
Look at this.
Хорошо. Цапка лоб взорвалась на подскоке, руки держи. Молодец. Комбинация рук взорвалась.
Come on, son. I mean, what the fuck? How old is that kid? That's a tiny little kid,
It's
man.
crazy how this coach has a system together, too. He has a little ball right there for her to kick and everything.
Imagine your kid fights this kid and you're thinking, oh, how much do they know? They're 4. This kid sending 4-year-olds to the fucking hospital.
Взорвалась комбинация.
And there's something about being Russian that scares me extra. Just the language.
That was crazy.
They're hard people, man. And you see that 4-year-old. That's a crazy technique, though, right?
Poor Cam.
So when Kevin fought in China, it's like we went over to China. We went to the Great Wall. Kevin didn't go that day, but me and the rest of the corner guys, we headed up to the Great Wall. Shug didn't go, but there was another guy with us, and he went with us. So there was 3 of us: Paul, Justin, and myself. And we go up to the Great Wall. We go up we walk around on it. We're doing that. And then they got a little place that you can have a drink. It's like it's not a bar or anything like that. You can just buy souvenirs, but you can also buy alcohol. And we were just having a Coke, and I think I was having a Coke, and the other guys were having maybe a beer, and this guy comes over. We're going to take a picture by the Great Wall, and this Russian asks to take the picture. And it's like, I'll take the picture for you. He doesn't speak hardly any English, stuff like that, but he's with a group, and so he takes our picture, and we sit back down, and I was like, you know what, that guy wanted to talk. So I get up and I start talking to the group of them, and sure enough, he did. His son had trained MMA. He saw our ears. He saw what we were wearing, and it's like, and so we end up talking to him, and it's like, pretty soon, they bust out the vodka, and it's like, so we're getting drunk at the Great Wall of China. With Russians, and it's a big group of them, and it's like, so we have a few shots, and it's like, it's like a tradition, I guess. It's like whoever pours the vodka, they pour the whole time. So and that he went, and it was the guy that took our picture. He's pouring everybody. Till the alcohol runs out, and then we ride one of those little things down, and it's like, and then we go have more drinks, and it's like, Russians are just like us, it's like they just want to have a good time and have fun, and it's like they were excited. They were there with some UFC fighters. We were there, excited. We were with some business guys from
Coach is
Russia.
being modest. They were very happy to be with Russians.
Yeah.
He was so stoked.
It was awesome.
When you look at. Wow.
Oh yeah, she kicked my son's ass.
Vasi for people listening, VASI.Lisa 2014.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
So she must have been born 2014. Fucking talented. Crazy how talented. Because, she can't even been training for 6 years.
No.
That's what's funny. She's 6 years old. It's like you only got 6 years. To be that good? Isn't it weird how kids learn shit so quick?
It's so quick.
Do you feel how old are you now, Kevin?
28.
Do you feel any different in the way you learn things now versus the way you learned things when you were 15?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I noticed the difference. You know what I mean? I think I retain things better in a way, but at the same time, I think I don't feel like I do certain things as fast as I used to. It's like I don't know if that makes sense.
That's crazy because you're not even in your prime.
No.
You're like 4 years from your prime.
I can still feel the difference between things, though. You know,
Yeah?
It's like, the peanut butter. You know.
Hell, you did it. It's the fucking Pop-Tarts, man. It's not the peanut butter. The nutritionists are pulling their hair out like, what is he saying? It's not peanut butter.
So if any nutritionists want to talk to me about this, holler at me. Hit Joe up first, though. Let him know I was right, all right?
Yeah, please do. Please do. Imagine if it was.
Hey, what's that thing over there, man? That little
Clock, I think.
It's a clock. Yeah, there's
a clock.
a gentleman named he's got an Instagram, TGT Studios, and I had him. This is the second one. He built this one for the old studio back in LA, and then he built this one for this one.
So how you liking Texas?
I love it.
Love it?
Love
That's
it.
good. That's good.
Love it.
I'm a Californian guy myself. I love it here as well. So
Well, I love what California used to be.
yeah.
But I know California is not California anymore. It's not the same place. Like LA is not the fucking same place. First of all, nothing's open. You can't you can't train. You can't do a comedy show. You can't go to a restaurant. You can't sit inside at a restaurant. There's like all the things that I used to love doing. You can't do. It's just, and homelessness is off the charts. Poverty's off the charts. The fucking streets, you drive down Hollywood, things are boarded up and there's tents everywhere. They fucked that city up to
Terrible.
almost beyond repair.
Yeah.
And
Are you training now?
I haven't been since I got here.
You haven't? Or
I've been lifting weights and hitting the bag and stuff like
Yeah,
that, but no
no
jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu. No
No,
jiu-jitsu.
but I want to.
Why
I
not?
just have an issue I'm trying to deal with one of my knees. I have a pretty bad meniscus tear that I've been getting stem cell shots into, and it feels pretty good right now.
Yeah.
My goal right now, so we're here in February. I think by April, I think I'm going to start training again.
You gonna go to On It?
Yeah, we have a 10th Planet over
Yeah.
here at On It, and then also my friend Todd White, he has a Machado school.
Nice.
So
Very, very
So
cool.
you're gonna go the
Train there.
Machado way?
well, that's where I have a black belt from John Jocks, so
Okay.
I have to train there.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's my lineage. And Todd's a good friend of mine too. He's been on the podcast before too. He's one of John Jocks' black belts, and he's got a great place out in Dripping Springs.
Nice.
Hey, what's the
Yeah.
name of
There's a lot of jiu-jitsu out here though.
the whiskey that what's the
Oh.
name does? Bruce does.
Yeah, you had it on
Bruce
your show.
Buffers?
No.
No.
Bruce Conti is a friend of ours in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And they got the Texas Silver Star whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've had that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Bruce Buffer. Bruce Buffer has his
Does
own
he?
whiskey.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
it's called
does.
Puncher's Chance.
Puncher's
try
Chance.
it.
That's
Tiger
awesome.
on the label.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
but-
gave me a bottle of it. I haven't tried it though.
You haven't tried it?
I love that guy.
Yeah. He's
No.
fun, man. He's
Nobody-
always so nice.
Nobody gets me jazzed up for a fight like that guy.
Yeah.
When he's introducing Kevin Holland.
It's like his every time.
He's like a fucking cherry, man. He gets so red. I mean, he fucking gives it. He doesn't have anything left in the tank.
No,
he
he's
drains
doing
the
it.
gas when he fucking introduces you,
Yeah.
man.
You
It's
had
awesome.
to love the Pride lady, though, that screamed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she
it's
was-
like- she
but I
was
didn't know what the
awesome.
fuck she was
I
saying.
had no idea.
See,
No
I
idea.
understand Bruce Buffer. When Bruce Buffer is look at him, man. I mean, come on, dude. And plus, who's more stylish? Like the guy's always got the sharpest suits. Look at that fucking
Yeah,
jacket.
that guy is always ready.
When he
So
did the
sharp.
360, it was awesome, though.
Dude, we talked him into that. There's a whole video. There's a whole video of me explaining how I'm going to talk him into doing a 360.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
That's
I
awesome.
worked it. I worked on it
What's
for
a
like a
360?
year. He would do this. Like he would interview. Introducing fighting out of the blue corner. He'd do this, but he was doing like a 180 called the Buffer 180. I go, have you considered doing a 360? So there's a whole video of us convincing him to do the Buffer 360. This is just the video, but there's a video of me talking him into it, and the video it's like for a year. Was trying to get him to do the 360. So he decided UFC 100,
Yeah.
the big one, he was going to do a 360. So as he interviews Brock Lesnar, he does a 360-degree spin. Like he's doing like a 360 roundhouse kick.
He jumped and boom.
Yeah, he jumped and stepped. It's pretty wild, man. You can watch him do it. But in his antics, this is the one where me talking him into it. The Buffer 180 to the Buffer 360. So I'm buttering him up. I'm like, come on, bro, you could do this. This is a long ass time ago, man. This is 2009. Is that what it was? Yeah. So I'm like, man, look, I'm wearing a tap out shirt. See? I'm trying to get him to do it. I'm trying to get him to do it. And he eventually did it, man. He
Yeah, it's
eventually did a
awesome.
fucking 360.
He said he wanted to do it again, but
No,
That's funny.
No, well, he fucked up his ACL during one of his introductions. He blew his ACL out. Yeah, no, I'm not bullshitting. He has
For real?
he only has one ACL right now. Yeah.
I fought my whole career with one ACL.
Really?
Yeah, I blew it out in the Ultimate Submission Showdown. I was in the finals against David Avalon, and he had me in a lockdown, and I was just pushing forward and tore my own ACL.
I lost my ACL in a lockdown too. I was sideways.
Yeah.
And instead of like being like leg like this, my leg was sideways. My friend Will, he just extended the lockdown. I heard like a carrot.
Yep.
And it didn't even hurt. It was just weird. I was like, I didn't know what was going on, and I actually kept rolling. And I thought my knee just popped, and then I was in my office moving some boxes around, and my leg just went.
Did you get it fixed?
Ah, shit. Yeah, I got it fixed.
Yeah, I never.
You
did.
never got it fixed?
No, never.
To this day?
No, I don't have an ACL.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
But doesn't it give out on you?
No.
No. It's the only thing that was when I throw my right hand, it would hyperextend. Boom,
Yeah?
like this.
That's
But
it?
Other than that,
Which
that's
knee? Is your right
my,
knee?
my right knee. So it's
Wow.
like,
So it doesn't bother you at all?
not really. It's better than my left knee. So it's like
What?
Yeah. It's better than my left.
What's wrong with your left knee?
I don't know. It's like nothing. But
So is this showing him doing it? Oh, that's it right there. Oh, my God. Look at this.
Ooh, shit. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, what the fuck is this?
Oh,
Yeah, he blew his shit out.
getting old.
Yeah.
He kept performing. He stuck it out.
Look at these guys. What is he doing?
He's
Oh,
like,
He's doing
my
karaoke. This is UFC
he heard it doing karaoke?
200 week.
That's
yeah.
so much less impressive.
so much less.
I thought he heard it yelling.
No, well, he's performing for a pump up week.
Oh, wow. And he blew his ACL out?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
He stuck out the performance.
That does suck. But he never got it fixed. So he can't really he can't jump up and
Nah, it kills your
slam
vertical,
himself
man.
like that anymore.
Kills your vertical.
So you just never bothered to get it fixed?
No, I blew it out. I think in 2002 or 2003, whatever year
That
that
is
was.
so crazy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fuck with your meniscus, though? Because your knees less...
I had a surgery to clean it out, but I told them that don't fix it.
Why?
Well, because I was fighting. You know, it was like I was right at the
Oh.
end of my fighting career, and it's like that's a year off, and I just didn't want to take the time. I've already fought all these fights. All my UFC fights were without an ACL, so you know.
I know Rico Rodriguez did the same thing.
Yeah,
had
his
no
would come
ACL.
out. His would come out. I
Justin
remember.
doesn't have an ACL either. Gaethje?
Gaethje doesn't.
Gaethje has one leg's fucked up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Rico. Rico would
That's
have
crazy.
to, like shimmy it,
Uh-huh.
get it to pop back in.
But my worry would be that you're chewing your meniscus up because of the laxity.
Yeah, I mean, they went in and they trimmed it and, fixed it, did a scope, and it's like, and I haven't had problems with it since then. They said I would, but according to them, I should have had it replaced by now.
And you train jiu-jitsu, but do you do other things as well? Do you
I
lift in weights or running or anything like that?
run.
Yeah?
I lift weights some. I do a lot of body weight stuff now. Yeah, but I don't. And I run. I'm a fair weather runner. I don't run when it's cold out. I don't like that. So it's like, I'll go outside and run when it's nice out. But it's like I'll go train jiu-jitsu. I'd rather do that than anything.
Yeah. Well, it's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah. I mean,
It's addicting.
I just can't believe that you could compete at such a high level with no ACL, and then
Yeah.
you could still train to this day.
Still train.
Scrambles and shit.
No,
Yeah,
no problem.
he
no
scrambles
problem.
good.
No problems.
It's annoying.
Then
Super annoying.
yeah, but the neck is a problem. The neck is
Yeah.
a problem. The neck's a real problem.
And
So-
have you looked into other methods of working with the discs? Like they do stem cell injections into the disc now.
Yeah, I've tried some stuff.
Have you?
I feel like I don't feel like anything helped. I had stem cells injected into it. I didn't feel like it helped.
How long ago was this?
A few months.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't
Yeah.
very long ago. I didn't.
Oh,
feel
you got to
like-
give it a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
probably
the
trained
problem.
Right away.
Yeah, he gets
I-
something done, and then
I
it's
waited
like,
the whole time that they told me to. I waited the whole time.
30 hours.
Yeah. Just like 3 weeks. They told me I had to wait, and
Yeah.
it didn't help. Nothing.
he waited a week, and then he went back to like teaching,
Yeah,
know,
but it's-
Uh-huh.
and he wasn't rolling, but he was like really aggressively holding people
Yeah,
like this, It's like it's not jiu-jitsu, but it's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I agree that it's like when you show stuff, it's like you do end up using your head, and it's like, and it's definitely hard on it. It's just hard not to, It's like I can have somebody else teach, but what if they don't do it right?
Right.
It's like stuff like that.
They never do it right.
Yeah.
They never do it right. And Travis looks, he's like, no,
"No, your big toe's in the wrong area. Let me just show you how it can be done." You know, it's like okay, coach, you just want to roll.
Well, I remember Charles McCarthy rolled with you when you guys were on The Ultimate Fighter, and he said, he goes, he compared your jiu-jitsu to Ricardo Laborio.
Yeah,
He was
that's
like,
a nice
Jesus
thing to
Christ.
say.
He said his jiu-jitsu is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charles is nice. In that situation, Ricardo Labario. For the guys that don't know, it's like this is ADCC champ. He won a bunch of other stuff.
He's an all-time great.
Yeah,
Just
he's
amazing,
really, really
legend.
good. I was there when he won the championship. He barely spoke any English at the time.
That's crazy because he's so fluent now.
Yeah, it's like it's like I met him at the Frankfurt airport. It's like, and you saw the Brazilians, and I walk up, and nobody spoke English at the time. Mario Sperry did, and then he spoke a little bit, and he was happy to practice his English on me, and I ended up talking to him. They gave me like an 8-hour layover in that stupid airport. It was terrible, but he was super nice guy.
Do you miss competing at all?
Yeah, I like, I miss fighting. I miss fighting. I wish
You
I
miss
could still-
fighting in MMA more than you miss jiu-jitsu competition?
Yeah, I mean, it's like getting old sucks. It's like I wish I could still do the things that I could do physically. It's like, but that's okay. Time moves on. It's not my time now. It's guys' time, like Kevin's. And this is fun too. So
Do you enjoy coaching and especially when you get a talent like Kevin?
I love teaching jiu-jitsu. I love
Look at him
teaching
smile.
jiu-jitsu. I love but Kevin's special. It's like because it is. It's like Kevin's. Kevin's just special. It's like compared to coaching a lot of people is difficult, but Kevin's a lot of fun. So I'm super happy to have Kevin.
Sometimes.
Do you feel fortunate that you ran into Travis Lutter? I mean, you could have walked into any dojo, you know?
Yeah, I'm super lucky, super blessed. You know what I mean? It's like you said, could have walked in anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, who knows what life would have been, but it's like, my life is what it is today. I think a big part because of where I ended up at, It's like, Travis's gym's done a lot for me, a whole lot for me.
Well, it's just, I mean, when you think about guys in America, particularly, we're talking about 13 years ago when you first started.
Yeah,
You know,
about.
you can't do any better. You just get different.
Different. Yeah. Different. Different's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, there's elite high level jiu-jitsu, and there's maybe a dozen of those spots.
Yeah.
At that time, at least, it's more so now. It's kind of spread out now even more.
Yeah, but it's okay. Like in Brazil, like Brazil was the mecca. It's like in the 2000s, especially. It's like in the 90s. You're gonna have jiu-jitsu is just really, really hot, and then a lot of those guys moved here.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them have created their own. Where it's really, really good. Some of them haven't. But like some of these guys, it's like the Atoses, it's like there's so Henzo's gym in New York is really, really good. It's
Incredible.
Like, there's so many good places to go train in America now that it's actually arguably probably better than Brazil. It's like because almost all the good guys came here. There's still really good guys in Brazil, and I'm sure you can find amazing training there. But it's like the American training is really, really good now.
It's pretty damn good. It's what's crazy to me that Oliveira doesn't speak English.
Isn't that nuts?
He's
He
been
lives
here forever. He lives in Houston.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Where does
been
he
here
train
for
out
a
of
long
Houston?
time.
Where does he train out there?
It's not a big name gym. It's not like a very famous place. There's two different schools of thought, right? There's one school of thought: join a place like American Top Team. You're around a bunch of assassins, you get better. And then the other school of thought is get individual treatment from a really highly specialized gym that focuses on you and keep getting better and better and better, and then you reach this elite level. Like I don't know who's right and who's wrong.
I've been to like Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand, and they got really, really good trainers, but there's just so many people. It's like it would be very hard to figure out even who you are, being there and stuff like that. Being in a smaller gym, there's good things, but it's just finding one that's you have good people. And the other thing
Right.
is figuring out, it's like like trying to figure out how to coach Kevin is really, really. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's like
What's he doing wrong, Kevin?
No, it's not that.
It's me.
No, it's like you have to talk to Kevin in a different way than you talk to other people. It's like I'm very, very honest. If I feel like you're doing something wrong, I'll tell you. It's like and with some people that's not always the best best option. With Kevin's gotten, thicker skin, through the years because he had to, but it's like, even ideas and, it's like, hey, I want to go do this. And it's like, learning how to talk to Kevin and making sure that, that he's going to be on board with where we're going to go and stuff like that.
When the leg lock game took over jiu-jitsu, how much did you guys have to adapt?
Okay, so the leg lock game, there's been two phases to that. The leg lock game of the 90s, the early 90s, the leg lock game was really, really big. I was doing leg locks a lot. Like when I went to ADCC, two of my matches to get there, to go to when I won the national tournament to go to ADCC in '99, I won two of my matches with leg locks, and then I lost my first match against Comprito on a bullshit decision. I felt like I won the match. It's like whatever.
Advantage.
It's like but I went for a whole bunch of heel hooks, and the guy just wouldn't tap. Comprito is long. It's like he's about as tall as Kev and flexible and just wouldn't tap. I thought I had him a whole bunch of times in the heel hooks, and so I took him out. I stopped doing leg locks. Yeah, it's like I was like, there's going to be guys that you're going to run into that just are not going to tap to these. We had some guys that were better at leg locks than I was, that were training in Dallas at the time, and so I just went to straight defense. And it's like, I'm just not going to be there, and so it's very, very difficult for you to catch me in a heel hook or a knee bar and stuff like that. It's just difficult. It's not impossible, not anything like that, but it's like it's very, very difficult because I just concentrated on defense. Now the second coming of the leg locks is like the Dean Lister, so it's like, because there wasn't really a lot of people doing leg locks from then till Lister, and now you have Gordon Ryan doing them, but Lister, it's like he's a guy that fought in the UFC, it's like he won ADCC, he won not his weight class at ADCC, but he won the Open. On leg locks, he'd gotten beat early in the day, and ADCC is a weird tournament because the matches are so long and the guys get so tired and the rules are different and stuff like that. And so he gets into the Open and he starts subbing people with leg locks, and it's like, and he did really, really good with that. And then you got guys like Gordon Ryan who's come along and they've his leg locks are really, really good. I don't rank him as far as like, there's lots of people that rank him like, the best ever. No, it's like you have guys like Jean-Jacques who submitted his way through ADCC. You have guys like Roger Gracie who submitted his way through both his weight class and the Open. And guess what? He also did it in the gi that same year, or either that or it was the other years, because it was 2007 or 2008 he submitted his way through, in 2007 he submitted his way through ADCC, and then he also submitted his way through IBJJF Worlds.
You have to admit, though, Gordon Ryan is what, 26?
Yeah.
How old is he?
Something like that. Yeah.
26,
Yeah.
Dominating.
Yeah.
He's won Abu Dhabi how many times? 3 times?
No, twice.
Has it only been twice?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, he's tapping everybody.
And he won
Tap
his
Cyborg.
weight class. He won his weight class, and it's like he's tapped a lot of people, but like Shanji Ribeiro, it's like two ADCCs ago when he was in the semifinals, he went against Shanji, and it was a judge's decision. And then he won the finals. It's like, yeah, he did submit Cyborg, yes, he did submit some of these other guys, but it's like he won a lot of decisions on the way through that tournament. He didn't submit his way through. Roger Gracie did. It's like he submitted his way not only through IBJJF Worlds, but he also did it through ADCC on the same year, or maybe it was a year off.
No denying Roger
Yeah.
Gracie's greatness.
And I'm not saying that that Gordon Ryan's not really, really, really good. I'm just not saying that he's in the same level. It's in a silly argument anyway. But
it's a weird argument, but he's got a lot of room to grow. I mean, that fucking guy keeps going. He's got a lot of room to grow.
I was there when he lost, right before, he put on all the weight. And he put on a lot of weight in about 3-4 months period. He lost, I think it was Lucas Lepre at the ADCC trials. It's like I had a guy that was competing in the trials, and so I watched that match in person. And he was just wasn't as good. And then he came back and he's 30, 40 pounds heavier, and he wins ADCC. And it's like, what the fuck happened? It's like, how do you do this in this 4 months of time? It's like, I've been lifting weights for a long time. It's like, I can't do that.
Yeah, there's probably some Mexican supplements involved. If I had to guess.
I like how you put
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's what I always like to call them, because you could go down to Tijuana and buy steroids at a pharmacy. So when dudes get juiced up in jiu-jitsu, I would say he's on
Yeah.
the Mexican supplements.
Mexican supplements. Walk
Yeah.
across the border.
Yeah,
Walk right back across.
yeah,
Yeah.
Look good.
legitimately. Oh, look, man, he's undeniably looks good. But so, have you guys adjusted your leg lock game because of like the whole Donner Death Squad?
Everything stayed the same. It's like
Yeah.
I'm still doing everything the same. It's like it's just it's like don't get caught. It's like that's my philosophy with it is like we have our guys in the gym that are good at leg locks, and then biggest thing is just don't get caught in them. It's like, is it going to happen? Yeah, you're going to get caught sometimes. It's like jiu-jitsu. It's like
Fucking heel hooks.
arm bars.
Particularly with the gi, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. It's
Yeah,
so hard
there's
to
so
pull
many
out
ways
of
to
things.
lose. It's
Yeah.
like you're going to get caught, and it's like you're going to, it's like if you're training, it's like, and you're not getting tapped, you're not probably training in the right gym. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like Kevin's going to tap me. It's like it's going to happen. His goal for
Every
this
blue
year,
moon.
yeah, his goal for the year is for me not to tap him. That's his main goal on the year is he doesn't want me to tap him. I haven't done it yet this year. It's like I've rolled with him plenty. I haven't tapped him, so it's like
He's rolling me more this year than he was last year.
You think he's trying to get that goal?
I'm like, fuck this.
It's just such a fortunate situation to be able to train with someone that's that high level, though.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's everything.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Well, you got to know, right? Like some guys, they don't get to train with someone that's that high level. You don't know what it's like to get smushed.
No.
You know?
No.
like when he went out there with JRE, he wasn't scared. It's
Right.
like, it's like
Exactly.
I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna fuck him up. Well, okay, I want you to stay on your feet. Stay on your feet. No, I'm gonna fuck him up. It's like, God damn it, Kevin. Hey, let's stay on our feet. Stay on our feet. First thing he does is get taken down. I'm like, oh fuck. Well, fuck. He's doing good. Oh, this is great. It looks really good. Back on his feet, looking good. Get taken down. Damn it. Still good. Oh fuck. He's asleep. It's
Yeah.
like, what the hell happened? And that's about how long it
Crazy.
took.
That was crazy. It was a crazy fight. That was a cementing moment for you. It was to knock out a guy like Jacare and to do it in such an unorthodox way, doing it off your back like that. That's an undeniable moment.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But things like that don't happen all the time. So as long as you go out there and you can make something special happen against another high-level guy, then we might be talking about something. But like I said, the last one doesn't happen that often, so I have to do it 2-3 more times.
So the Derek Brunson fight, which is coming up soon, what are your thoughts on Derek Brunson? I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but he's obviously a veteran. He's obviously a guy who's been around, who's fought Stylebender. He's the Shabazian fight, his last fight. I thought he looked fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And Shabazian, that was an interesting situation, right? You got this kid who's 21 years old, super dangerous, real fast hands, looked great, but never really been tested against like a veteran. And then you saw wasn't really ready for that yet.
Yeah.
Brunson's good. His wrestling's good. His stand-up's a little wild. He hits hard. It's like it's going to be a fun fight, but it's like the problem is it's like when he gets in there with the top level guys, he hasn't had a lot of success, and we're just going to find out if Kevin's is as top level as I think he is. It's like
You seen the Jenga?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know that part where he goes, rude boy, there's only 1 out of 10,000 niggas, and you that 1 out of 10,000. I'm that 1 out of 10,000. We're going to find out,
It's closer to like 1 in a million. It's like it's just different.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is like a pivotal moment in your career?
It can be. It very much can be. But me and Derek Brunson, we have a lot of words back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
no,
it's gonna be a
Kevin
night.
fucks with Derek Brunson constantly. It's like, but Kevin does this to everybody.
He
He's
started
in
me
everybody's.
first.
He started
it's
with
like
you?
he's
He
in.
started
He's
with me
in. He's in Stylebenders in the inbox. He's in everybody's inbox, and he's fucking
Do you DM
personal
these guys?
message. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the time.
Do they go back and forth? with
Oh
you?
yeah,
Some of 'em do.
all the time.
Really?
Derek does.
Some of 'em are
Derek
nice.
does.
Who goes back and forth with you?
Mike Perry's nice enough to go back and forth with me.
Does he?
I like that guy. He does. He's fun to
But he
play
fucks with him. He fucks with
Yeah.
him.
And then, Brunson started it, though. He told me he was going to slam me on my head, so fuck him. And then, it's just there's a few of them.
That was what he opened with?
Yeah.
I'm going to slam you on your head?
Yeah, Chimaev doesn't go back and forth with me, so that
No?
that
How
hurts
come?
my feelings. I don't know. He says he's about that life. That kid ain't about that life. I seen him at the PI. And I walked in. I was like, "That's my best friend." He was like, "You want to be friends now?" I was like, "Fuck no." I was like, "Never." I was like, "We're best friends without being friends." They were like, "Kevin, there was a lot of them. They were gonna jump you." And I was like, "No." I drove out here. I got dildos in the car. I was ready to fuck them. So that boy's not about that life.
Don't you think that, I mean, it's very unfortunate that he's suffering from COVID, that he's got this long-term situation where apparently I've talked to doctors about this, I'm like, what is going on with that? And they said when you're training really hard and then you're breaking down your immune system and then you get COVID, you can get it real bad.
Yeah.
And when you get it really bad and then you don't take care of yourself in terms of like don't give yourself adequate time to recover, you go back in before you're really fully recovered, and also you're not taking care of all the inflammation issues that you have with your diet and with your supplements.
Yeah.
You hit a situation like him where he had to pull out the Leon Edwards fight. Imagine being fucking Leon Edwards. One of the best fighters in the world can't get a fight.
Can't get a fight.
He's fighting Bilal.
Finally,
Yeah.
Bilal steps up right after winning.
I offered to
steps
step up the
to fight
last time.
again.
I offered to cut the extra weight.
Kevin was in.
You know?
Kevin was in
It's
there.
like-
Inboxes again. Fucking, hey, I'll fight him.
I
It's like-
inbox Leon plenty of times. He doesn't respond. And then the thing about it is, a lot of these guys can say before that I didn't have the followers, so they didn't see the message. Now I have the followers, so you're seeing the fucking message. You're just choosing not to respond. You know what I mean? It's like if we're being real here, these guys, half of these guys who claim that they're fighters because it pays a bill and it looks good online. It looks good on TV.
Is that the case, or are they being calculated about what risks they take?
You're not a fighter if you're calculating risk.
Really, though? Do you think that's true? I mean, if you're a first-year fighter,
But
They're
he's
martial
talking
artists.
about other
They're
kinds of
martial artists.
fighting. He's
They're
talking about
martial
other
artists.
kinds of fighting.
I know.
He's talking about life, and it's like he's not talking about his career right now. He's
Right.
talking about and
The
for
mindset,
Kevin,
warrior
all that
mindset.
stuff kind of melts together a little bit.
Gotta
It's
be a
like
warrior.
he's it's like he's not necessarily saying that. These guys are for sure fighters, but they're not real fighters in Kevin's mind.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. They won't, it's like I get happy when I see these guys step up last second for a fight. Like seeing Bilal step up for that fight, I'm like, okay, there you go. Don't fucking complain about how you're not getting upper fights when you don't really put yourself in that situation and get upper fights.
When Chimaev knocked out Mearshart, I was like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
he knocked him out with one punch. I'm like, okay, now I want to see. If he can do that, I want to see, like, how does he fare against a guy like you? How does he fare against other, like, elite 170 or 185ers, which is weird, too, right? That he's just bouncing back and forth between those two weight classes.
He's bouncing back and forth to the fights that make the most sense. So he'll go to 70 for a fight that makes sense. He'll come back up to 85 for a fight that makes sense. Nothing wrong with it. Good management. Fighters who fight like that, very smart fighters. I tip my hat off to them. Them and their management and their coaches, that's great. That's not me. I'd never be that. So props to those guys. But it's like if you go to 70 because this fight makes sense for you, smart move. You go back to 85 because this fight makes sense to you, smart move. I was impressed by the way he knocked out Mearshart just because he took the smartest route, which was keeping it standing. And I thought the guy who liked to grapple was going to take it to the ground. But knocking out Mearshart after Mearshart's coming off of losses, you know what I mean? And I know I smacked him a couple times. I know Deron Wynn smacked him a couple times, you know what I mean? And I know Ian Heinrich ultimately landed the last smacking. And I think if you add up those three people who have decent power and have been smacking him at 85, the head's just not the same as it used to be. He's even fought Thiago Santos, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can't fight all these killers and take these type of headshots and think that you're going to be okay. If Chimaev has a little bit of pop, of course it's going to look good. I mean, smart. Props to him for taking the smart program every time you go out there and fight a guy. It's like we both fought John Phillips. I went out there and stood and banged with John Phillips. Coach told me in the second round, go out. Okay, you already look good in the first round. Go out there in the second round, take this guy down, choke him out. He's obviously not trying to go away from punches. Chimaev went out there, took him down, punched on him, subbed on him. Smart fighter. Props to him. But what happens when you can't go out there and take an easy, smart route? What happens when a fighter's really fucking good? That's why I wanted to, like you said, I wanted to see the Leon fight. I want to see tough competition.
That fight bad. I was fascinated by that fight.
I would have took the Neil Magny fight.
Find.
Him versus Neil Magny would have been. I would have been happy with that. You can slowly work your way up. I think he, it's like after seeing Neil Magny being done the way he got done against Michael Chiesa, I think that Chimaev could have got the job done, especially being a big 170er. But it's like I don't know. And then you sit up here and you say it's sad because he has COVID and shit like that. But they said I had COVID, and if we're supposed to be athletes, it's like get the fuck over it.
Yeah, but you obviously had a very mild.
Version
of it. I mean, he's had it for
my
months.
girl had it pretty
months
good.
and months now.
My girl had it pretty good, and I was fucking her the whole time. And it's like so. It's like it's like we all take it different. Different fighters, different heart. Don't claim to have that heart if you ain't got it.
Don't you think it's just like a disease, though? I mean, some
shit,
people just
the
have
flu
a harder
sucks.
time with the disease.
The flu sucks. Michael Jordan still went out there and won. It's difference.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer that we don't get it because it was so exciting. You watch him; he's fighting back to back. He's trying to fight. He's scheduling 2 fights at the same time. He's,
Yeah, I'm just sad because I really wanted to see the guy fight again.
Yeah,
just sad.
Also,
Sorry,
you
guys.
wanted to fight him.
No, not me. I don't want to fight that guy. He's a monster, bro. He's undefeated, smashing everybody. He's mini Khabib. I don't want no problems with that guy. You know?
That's not true. He was fucking with him the whole goddamn
Yeah.
time over there.
Yeah, you were asking for it when I interviewed you.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I take it.
Well, they had Kevin had words with him too. You know, it's like Kevin had words with him, and then he said something to Kevin, pissed Kevin off, and then Kevin's angry.
But the boss has said on interview that we're in 2 different weight classes, and that we'd probably never meet up. So I'm assuming that he's staying at 70 and I'm staying at 85, and it's like maybe one day when he gets over being a little tired, he can get back in there and get some fights in, and we'll be okay.
Are there any other guys in the division that you want to test? Like, did you look at a guy like Yoel Romero and you want to test yourself against him?
I asked Yoel Romero. The next thing I know, he's cut. And it's like they were talking about, hey, you want to fight somebody in the top 15? I'm like, shit, what? Give me Yoel Romero. Nobody else will
Why do
fight
you
him.
think they cut him? Is that crazy?
It has to be money, right?
It has to be.
He was just making too much money, and he's not.
Yeah.
It's like, but did you want to watch him fight after he fought
Always.
that? I didn't. After that last loss, I was like, okay, I don't want to watch him.
What, the Stylebender fight?
I always want to watch him fight.
No, the one after that he went up to, was it 205 where he went to, or what was it? Or was it the Stylebender fight?
I think
it's like,
Stylebender was his last fight, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Stylebender was last fight at UFC.
it's like he's a fun, exciting guy when he goes forward. I hate it when he fucking doesn't want to go forward.
Well, with Stylebender, I think you felt like you had to stay put. But when he just stood still and Stylebender came forward and then he blasted him with a big left hand,
Right.
and you see Stylebender's look in his eyes like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this is dangerous. Like, this motherfucker is fast.
He's
And
so fast, man.
Luke Rockhold said he feels like he's made out of metal.
Well, didn't
That'd
what's
be
his name
fun.
say that too? The Whitaker. Didn't Whitaker? I think Whitaker said that too.
Yeah.
It was like where it's like, he said the difference in between the first and the second time he fought him. He said it's like it was a different kind of metal the second time. It's like, what the fuck, man.
Yeah, he's a tank.
I can
Tank
feel
of a
that.
man.
That guy's
Yeah.
story though is like about Cuba and stuff like that. This is that's a rough upbringing.
Do you know the story of him being examined by the doctor? Did you ever hear that story?
No,
Dana told me the story. He goes, they bring him to the doctor after he gets a fractured orbital. I think it was in the Whitaker fight. He's got some sort of a mild orbital fracture.
Yeah.
The doctor calls the UFC up and goes, where did you find this guy? And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, he's a fucking specimen. And they're like, yeah, he's amazing, right? He goes, no. No, like, we've never seen anything like this before. He goes, I've been examining people for decades. He goes, the tendons in his eyes are 3 times larger than a normal person's. It's like everything is weird.
Everything's weird.
The way he's built is just bizarre. And, we were talking about it, and the Cubans did some wild shit. Like, during, like, the
Yeah, he
whole
would be in that
Soviet
whole-
days.
yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows what the fuck they were doing with their athletes.
Right.
Like, they might have been, doing some wild experiments in engineering. The
Well,
Russians did the same thing with Karelin. They always
Karelin?
called him the experiment.
Well, his parents are short.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like 5'5".
And he's built like a fucking like a superhero.
He's
Doesn't even make
6'5",
sense.
and it's like, and he looks like he's 200 pounds, but he's actually 270 pounds. It's just proportional. And
Yeah,
it's like
moves like a cat.
But it's like, who the hell can pick up another freaking heavyweight and throw him over their shoulder like that?
Like
what he did.
nothing.
It's just going, it's
Yeah.
just
There's that
launch the
famous
guy.
image.
Yeah, it's
I
just
put it
weird.
on my Instagram. I look at this picture every 6 months to remind myself what a pussy I am.
Dude, it's like
Him just fucking.
Have
Have you ever seen the photo of Karelin?
It's the scariest photo ever of a human. It's like
I wanna see.
But
Yeah, we'll find it.
Just him lifting these guys. I mean, he made
What is
his
he, a
own
heavyweight?
move.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
heavyweight. He was 270-ish.
Oh, he doesn't fight
plus.
anymore?
There he is. That's the picture.
That's him.
So these guys would flatten
This is
out.
the move. This
Yeah.
is the
He
move
looks
that he's
like a
doing in
demon.
Greco.
Yeah, they would flatten out so that he couldn't pick them out because other guys couldn't pick them up when, they're 300 pounds and they're flat on their stomach. But he would hoist them up in the air like they were nothing, then dump them on their head.
I mean, his record is 802.
Damn.
800 and something and 2. Think about this in wrestling. In international competition, he's 800 wins.
And one of
And
those two was Rulon Gardner, and it was just because they changed the rules. And when you break the hands, it counted as a point.
Yeah,
so he
it's like-
broke the grip.
Well, it was an
That was the
overtime.
whole-
It
that
was
was
an
the only point.
overtime. It was an
Yeah.
overtime, and if you get to start with this grip, and if they break the grip, and then he went to here, but all the years that he was wrestling, his whole career, it was okay. You could do this.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a point. So it was just a bullshit point.
Oh my
and now it's
gosh.
like that's nothing to take away from Rulon. You know, it's like
Right.
it's like I mean, this is really really cool that he won that Olympic match and stuff like that. But it's still a technicality bullshit. You know, it's
Yeah.
like and that's his last match that he ever did. You know, it's like and now he's just in Russia, happy.
What is he
That's
doing
crazy.
I think he's like a senator or something. He's in some
probably
sort of a
throwing
government.
cows or some
You know?
shit. He's like, see the way he looked in that photo? He's not going to be happy unless he's throwing something.
now? How much meat do you think that guy eats?
Yeah, I can't imagine. It's like 270 pounds. It's like what the
Just
hell?
plates of T-bones.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to try that now.
Greco.
Pick somebody up like that?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard to
is-
pick a child up like that.
I don't think I could do my kids like that. You know, it's
It's
like
hard,
oh,
man.
I'm gonna spread your weight out. And it's like and they're stiff. You know, it's like you go no,
What's the
you can't do
grips?
that. He does this and he's facing the backwards on him. And
He's
he
just-
picks him up. Show the
He's just
video of him doing
absolutely
it.
freakish.
crazy.
Yeah,
Jamie,
see if you
if
can
you
see the
would.
video of it because he's done it to guys that are like 330. Yeah, and he just hoists them up like they're a sack of potatoes and then just slams them. And the impact of him slamming them.
Has to be a
I mean,
technique behind it.
oh, for
No,
sure.
he's
There's
you gotta be
power,
super strong. That's
but
the
there's
technique.
also technique. I mean, you have to, but you have to be strong as fuck. It's like a Turkish getup, right?
Right.
There's a lot of power in Turkish
this
getups
is
like
it.
this.
There you go, Kev.
That's a mild one. There's some of them that are so ridiculous that when he hoists them up, that looks like a guillotine, man.
Fucking strong
He's-
guillotine.
He was so strong, man. He was so strong, and guys were
That's it
terrified
right there?
of him.
Yeah, that's it.
See, they would flatten out. This is it. Boom. They would flatten out so that he couldn't do this to him because that was what he was known for. Look at the size of that motherfucker.
And he'd still pick him up.
Yeah. Corellin was
these
ridiculous.
These are the best wrestlers in the world. This
Yeah.
isn't high school. This isn't anything.
So this is what they would do. They'd
These are
flatten
the
out on their
international
stomach.
competition. He's doing this.
Watch
He did this to 800 and some guys.
Yeah, I mean, he was just a monster, like a literal monster. Look, up in the air, you going for a ride. There you go. Boom. Like, fuck all that. I mean,
See?
imagine if that guy learned jujitsu.
He
No,
wraps
it'd
it
be
that
terrible.
way.
Oh,
Terrible.
my God. I mean,
Terrible.
imagine that guy entering into jujitsu
It's
tournaments.
the same way. Every
And I
time.
believe he had a
Just like
fake MMA fight.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But it was fake. It wasn't
Yeah.
real.
It was one of them
in Japan.
Japanese ones, yeah.
They love that stuff.
Oh, well, that was so weird. Like, remember when Mark
That's a big
Coleman
boy
fought
right there.
Takada and he literally went pro wrestling style. I'm not gonna tap. I'm not gonna tap. No,
You gotta love Mark. You gotta love
I
Mark.
love Mark Coleman.
Mark is one of the best humans ever. You know,
I
it's
love
like
him.
he's so awesome. You know, it's like he's just he's funny. It's like he's a guy. It's like he could have nothing left in his life and he'll give you his shirt. It's
Oh,
like,
he's a great guy.
yeah,
a great
very
guy.
very good
and,
guy.
And one of the greats. Like he got everybody gaining weight. When Mark Coleman was the UFC heavyweight champion, he got everybody gaining weight because they were like, "Fuck." He had to deal with this 265-pound gorilla,
Right.
who would just shoot doubles on you, and he could headbutt you back then. And there
Right.
was no gloves on, so he's headbutting you, ground and pound, and you couldn't get him off of you. You know, that just shows you how good Maurice Smith was, because Maurice Smith beat him in his prime. And he beat him with leg kicks, and he beat him with endurance. So Maurice figured out, because he was doing a lot of training with Frank Shamrock, and he figured out how to defend himself off his back, had real good butterfly guard, realized how to hold on, and just chop those fucking legs when he was standing up.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I was there because it was a giant upset, and I remember why, because I was standing by the side of the octagon, and I heard him say, "Come on, Mark, ground me and pound me. Come on." He was talking to him like, boom. I mean, this was at the time.
Look how big he is, though.
He was enormous, but at the time, this was the most spectacular upset in the history of the sport. Everybody thought that Mark Coleman was just impossible to beat. He was so big, and look at Mark's wearing shoes. See that?
Yeah, he couldn't kick.
He had fucking shoes on back then.
Remember,
Dude, Maurice Smith was the shit.
You know what's
man.
funny? I've never seen any of these.
You've never saw any of these?
These are good to watch, man. These are good to watch. This one is a really big one to watch because Maurice figured out how to defend himself off of his back and just took his time. And he knew. Look at Mark's wearing shoes. He knew Mark was going to get cold, and you could shoot. You could get tired, rather. You could kick with those shoes on. Yes.
At that point in time,
Yeah,
you
because
could
Pete Williams knocked Mark
And he
Coleman out
had
with
it,
a
yeah.
head kick with shoes on.
with shoes on. Yeah.
Yeah, you could shoot with.
Yeah,
you
you're
could
right.
kick with shoes on.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think you couldn't kick you couldn't throw like a side kick to the face. I don't think you could hit him with the bottom of your foot.
No souls.
Yeah.
Alex
Just soul,
Andreas.
I think-
Alex Andreas in UFC 30 something. He got disqualified for kicking with shoes. So, but that was probably after this.
changed
Yeah,
it.
they changed the
They
rules.
changed it. Yeah, they started. They changed a lot of shit. Things got weird. You know, it's interesting to watch the evolution of the sport over the years and
Well, it's
the
like-
rules.
Some of the stoppages.
There
that
it is,
they-
right here.
they used-
Wow.
Boom. Pete Williams. Pete later became a chef.
Yeah.
I believe in Hawaii. I think he's
Uh-huh.
a chef in Hawaii.
You know, Charles Rosa, I think he's a chef.
Is
Really?
he?
Yeah. If I'm not
Pete's a
mistaken.
nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a nice guy.
That was a big victory too, man. God,
That was
my God.
huge. That was
But Mark
huge.
Coleman, back in the day when he came around, he was the first really enormous wrestler
Right.
that figured out how to take guys down and smash them.
You know what weight he wrestled at in college and
What?
won? 189. Wow. 189. You know, so it's like, you know,
got big.
Viva
guess
la
what?
Mexico.
Guess what weight DC was at? And, you know, it's like in college. He wrestled at 189. That's
Wow.
and
Yeah, he didn't go to Mexico.
he did, no, he took second. He took
Is
second.
that Coleman? No,
Yeah.
Looks like my size.
it doesn't look like him though.
Mark Kerr, 189
that
pounds.
photo-
That's what he
It
wrestled
doesn't look
at.
like his face. That's what's crazy. Yeah, Mark Kerr was the biggest example
But
of like a
189,
real freak. Did you ever see that documentary, The Smashing Machine?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What about Alistair Overeem? He used to be small.
He
Oh,
fought
yeah.
at
He was thin.
205.
Yeah.
Lost
Alistair was
against
thin. Yeah, he got KO'd by Chuck.
Chuck
yeah.
and Pride.
Yeah, he was thin back then. Like, he looked different. But
Yeah.
the Alistair that fought Brock Lesnar,
Oh my God,
that's
a big
that's
guy.
a great argument for supplements.
dude!
Like,
It's like he looked
like you
amazing.
kind of want to see like, what a guy can do. You know, if you just let him.
No more rules. Just stick
No
him
raw
in.
rules. Just juice it
fucking
up.
go at it. You
Juice
know?
it up. I mean, he was a monster when he was a heavyweight. When he won, you got to think about that guy's career. That guy won the
Alistair?
Yeah, K1
Yeah.
Grand Prix,
Right.
which is insane, right? He won the Dream Heavyweight Championship. He won the Strikeforce Heavyweight Championship. I mean, he's a mother. He won the Abu Dhabi trials in Europe.
See? All that and that UFC belt.
Eluded
so
him.
elusive.
Yeah, eluded him.
Remember when he used to carry that hammer?
Oh yeah,
And to Pride,
Yep.
he had this hammer that was
the
like
Demolition Man. He
And
was
it's
called.
like, and he
Yeah.
came in carrying this freaking hammer. It was, the theatrics and freaking Pride were
Do you
awesome.
remember
man.
when Chemo used to come on with a cross on his back?
Yes, it's like carry that.
He would
big ass
carry
thing.
a fucking cross into the octagon.
Hey.
And then Joseon, when he fought, he carried that same cross or a similar cross
Right.
when he fought into the octagon.
I mean, this is a prop. You know, this
Dude,
is.
not only that, but you get exhausted. How much does a cross weigh?
I don't
A
know.
big ass cross?
I don't
Dude,
know.
It was a huge cross, too.
Was it like a real metal one or something?
No, wood.
Oh, wood.
Like a big ass. Look at this. Look at that. He's carrying that fucking thing into the octagon. I mean, shit, that's got to be a 60-pound cross. Look how fucking
mean-
heavy that is.
You'd have to go to Home Depot and make that before you go fight. You know, it's like they're not going to let you fly with that.
Yeah, you gotta.
I didn't even think about all that. He's like taking it with
That's,
him everywhere he goes.
that's such a good point. You gotta actually build it while you're there.
It's like, oh shit!
All right,
what
we
are you
gotta
doing?
do
I
our
go
meal
build my
prep.
cross.
We gotta build the cross. You gotta carry it into the octagon. It's been crazy when you think about the evolution of the sport from '93 to 2021. It's changed martial arts like forever,
for sure. Yeah, for the better. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
you know, it's like it's 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 a lot more honest and stuff like that. You know,
Oh
it's like
my god, so much more. I mean, still, you know, you can see plenty of fake martial arts online. If you go on
Right, of
Instagram,
course.
you can see some of these like ridiculous guys with the chi touch and
Right.
you know, touching people and they go unconscious. But back in the day when I was doing martial arts, it was like people really thought that shit was real.
oh, there's still people that think it's real. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I mean, they're crazy people, but there's you know, it's like they think it's real.
What year did you start training jiu-jitsu?
95, 96,
okay.
somewhere in there.
Early
So,
adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was in South Dakota. I lived in South Dakota. I was going to college in South Dakota. There was no place to learn. So it's like we bought the
Henzo Gracie, Craig Kukuk.
tapes.
Yes.
Yes, because we heard that they were
What the heck?
Craig
so,
Kukuk was
VHS. You know,
red outside plastic. I remember
Right.
I had those series. I just recently got rid of them.
Did you really?
Yeah, I held on to them forever because I thought they were cool. And I'm like, what am I doing with this?
Yeah, it's
I
just
just,
stuff.
it was just, it's
Movie.
like history, though. It's kind of, I had this box of VHS tapes
Right.
from back then.
You got rid of him?
Yeah, I shouldn't have.
Yeah, so it's like I would
Now I'm
drive
thinking.
down here. So I would drive to Texas to train with Carlos. You know, so
Wow.
I did that for a year before I moved here, and I moved here in '97. So it was, I guess '96 or so is when I really started training. So
Wow.
long time.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
tapes were responsible for so many people's evolution as a jiu-jitsu artist.
Yeah, because it was on. You know, it's
Yeah.
like Henzo did a good job. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
he showed you everything
Right.
because I remember a friend of mine was training at Gracie in Torrance, and Hoyce beat someone. I think he beat Dan Severin with a triangle.
Right.
And so they were asking, how do you do a triangle? And they wouldn't show him.
No.
They're like, you're not ready for that yet. It's
No.
like, what? But you could go to these tapes, and Henzo would show you how to do a triangle. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's, you know, dealing with the Gracies is, you know, always going to be a little bit different. You know, it's like, because it's kind of like the big mafia family of jiu-jitsu. You know, it's like, and they have their little inner squabbles and all that other stuff. It's kind of fun to be an outsider and watch everything. You know, but it's like,
Well,
yeah.
they need credit because they did really revolutionize the art. They really did. Their contribution, whether it's through Elio or Carlos or Carlson in Brazil, and then coming over here and Horian starting off the
Right.
UFC, and then Hoyce winning the UFC, and Hickson becoming Hickson, and
Right.
being this legend that everybody's aware of.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. You know, it's like, but then there was, at the same time in Brazil, there was other sects of, people training, that was completely and totally separate from those guys, because they weren't the only ones that got taught, and they were doing the same things. And then it's like, and even Lutter Livre and just Brazil in general, it's like having the fights that they had down there, those no rules fights. It's like watching, Chuck Liddell fight
Right.
Pele, and
Yeah. With the nets.
Right.
Remember that?
Right. And it's like, and they're, it's like, I mean, this is just a crazy time. And, it's like, and yes, they definitely did deserve credit and things like that, but there were, there's more things happening than just them.
Yeah, there was more things happening than them, but they're a giant part
Oh,
of
huge
why
part.
jiu-jitsu
Yes.
got maybe like 90% of it.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
they're huge.
It's like Horian bringing in, being part owner of the UFC or owning whatever percentage. I think it was like 50% he owned of the first 5, and then he sold it on the 5th one. He sold his percentage away because they got away from. And the 5th one is when they stopped doing the no time limit stuff, and he didn't like that. And it's interesting. It's like, but it's. But even like some of the stories that you hear about, some of the training that went on, like before then, it's like with the Machados on how they left, and because they got brought here by Horian, and they were teaching out of the same garage with Hickson and all those guys, and then they, for whatever reason, Chuck famous
Norris.
Chuck Norris,
Yeah.
liked Carlos. He liked
Yeah.
Carlos, and then they, eventually brought him out here to Texas and had him, teaching him on the movie set, or on the TV series.
Walker,
set.
Texas Ranger.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, man.
That's a good show.
So, it's just funny. It's like, how everything worked out. It's like,
Yeah.
for Carlos and stuff like that.
It is crazy. Did you ever get a chance to roll with Hickson?
I never did get a chance to roll with Hickson. It's like I've met him, a couple times, but I've never got a chance to roll with him. Roll with Jean-Jacques. I've rolled with Higgin. It's like Higgin. When I went to Abu Dhabi, it's like I'd won the qualifier. I thought it was pretty good. I'd trained with Carlos a lot and stuff like that. And I'm warming up with Higgin, and Higgin made me feel like a little girl. It's like, he was just, this is when he was at heavyweight, and he fought Mark Kerr in the finals. And it's like, taking Kerr's massive, 260 pounds with this high voice. And it's like, nobody can break this. Like this is his plan to win is he's going to put his hands around your hips, and you can't break this. And I'm going to win. And it's like, and he did, it's like, and Higgin, but Higgin was just so good, it's like, and I mean, Jean-Jacques is crazy good. It's like Carlos is crazy good. But it's like, it was, rolling with those guys is very fun.
Yeah, I mean, you were at the ground floor of a very special time in jiu-jitsu, really.
Yeah,
when
I was very
jiu-jitsu was
lucky.
entering into mainstream consciousness.
Right. I was very, very lucky to be, have the opportunity to come here and come to Texas, learn from Carlos, and get to do some of the things that I got to do and stuff like that.
I
Very,
started
very
out
lucky.
at Hickson's on Pico,
Yeah.
and then I didn't know the difference between the Gracies,
Yeah.
and then I didn't realize I was at like probably one of the best spots ever.
Right.
And then I found Carlson Gracie's place was like 15 minutes closer to my house.
Yeah.
So I go, I'll just go there.
Yeah.
And
It's all
so
the
I
same.
was going there, and I was there when Vitor they would call him Victor, when they were calling him Victor Gracie.
Victor Gracie.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And so that was when I was a white belt. That's where I started. It was John Awano from Awano Geese, and Mario Sperry was there. They had like all the Carlson Gracie guys were there.
Yeah.
Carlos Pajeto was there.
That was a crazy good team. That had to be a good place to learn.
It was
too.
crazy, yeah. And so then when that went down, that was on Hawthorne in L.A.
Yeah.
And when that went down, then I went to John Jacques. So I've been at John Jacques since I think it was 97-ish.
It's crazy how he can
98.
grapple with that hand. It's like,
Amazing.
it's a thumb.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's just amazing. And that thing is a weapon too. It's like that stopping a choke with that thing.
Right.
It's
It's
like
like
it
slides under
comes in
your
and it's
under your
We all started making a fist like this to
get
try
under.
to try
Yeah.
to come in. Yeah, it's like it's like John Jacques is crazy good athlete.
Well, you know what he did? He also realized that because he didn't have that one hand to grab collars, he changed his game, and his game became more overhooks and underhooks. And so it was very easy to apply that game to no-gi.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why when he went, there was a lot of guys that went to Abu Dhabi, and they were looking for things to grab,
Right.
and their game was severely diminished, whereas Jean Jacques' game was not diminished at all.
Yeah, well, that's why that first year especially he had such good success and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He looked really good.
He's an awesome person, too. I love that guy to death.
Yeah.
Kevin, when you look at your career, where you're at right now versus where you want to be, do you have goalposts in mind? Do you have an ultimate destination that you want to get to? Do you have like guys on your hit list, or do you just want to just keep fighting, keep getting better?
I'd love to keep fighting and keep getting better. I mean, but if there's anybody on the hit list, I mean, a good fun fight with Vittori would be nice. Of
With
course, Vittori, Marvin Vittori.
Oh, Marvin Vittori.
Getting this Brunson scrap out the way would be nice. And then I basically just want everybody who likes to play all those games, like the little games that I don't like to play, or that I like to play and they ain't playing with me.
What
So,
games? What do you mean?
Just the Stylebender fight one day. You don't have to be the champ. It could be in the backyard. It wouldn't matter. I say I don't want that Dechimaya fight one day would be nice. All these guys, man. I just want to fight, and it's like, and I want to fight all those guys that are supposedly really, really good, so I can find out how good I am. It's like, and it's the only way to find out.
Do you have a time in your mind where you want to get out of the game?
Yeah, I'd like to be done at 34. There's other shit to do.
34.
Yeah, and he's been saying that for years. It's like it's always been 34. It's never changed. It's like he's been saying 34.
It's a good time because you're
I don't know,
athletic,
5 years or
still
so.
in your prime, but it's not past it.
Yeah.
You're not dealing with the diminished body.
Yeah, there's other things to do. One day my kid will have kids, and I want to be a cool ass grandparent. So, fighting past 34 might fuck that up. So I'll try and avoid that part.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that you're seeing that are hanging in there a little bit too long, and that sad story repeats itself over and over and over again, and we've all seen it.
Yeah, and then the older you get, the more those new guys get to come by and make a name off you, and
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I want them screaming my name, come out of retirement, instead of I beat his old ass. It's
Yeah.
like one or the other. Yeah.
Yeah, 34. I mean, that's a total doable time.
Yeah.
He's still got 6 years. It's
Yeah.
like, and Kevin's not as good as he could be yet. It's like he still thinks he can improve on. It's like, and it's like that's plenty of time. He can make a lot of money in between now and then, and life will be good.
As time gets on and you get closer and closer to a title shot and you get closer and closer to realizing your potential, do you think you'll ever change your approach and just enjoy doing things that are fun? Or do you think you'll become more disciplined with strength and conditioning, more disciplined with your diet?
More discipline. It's happening naturally without, me wanting it to happen. But I think I'll always have a great time with this. It's like I enjoy it. I'll enjoy
I'm
it
sure.
until I can't enjoy it anymore.
But I think you realize as you get older and as you get closer and closer to the top of the food chain that there's these little differences that make, obviously you're a great athlete, obviously you're a fantastic fighter, but would you be slightly better if you did something different? Would you be slightly better?
They make me. They're making me want to. They're making me want to.
So
you know,
he's
it's
doing it. It's like a year and a half ago, he wasn't doing
I
a lot
wouldn't
of
do
the
anything.
things that he's doing today. It's
Yeah.
like he's way more
Slowly.
disciplined. It's like, hey, man, I don't want to come in and train. You know, I don't have a fight coming up. Now it's like he's in the gym all the time. You know, it's like
enjoyable.
a year and a half ago, I don't want to do strength and conditioning. I don't have a fight coming up. Now he's still doing it. He did it all last year. He didn't have a problem with doing it. He didn't complain.
It's
You know,
becoming a new
he does-
lifestyle.
But you
yeah.
haven't lost the joy. That's the thing.
No, it's just it's becoming a new lifestyle. I really enjoy what I do, and it's like more discipline. It's like when I talk to my dad, it's like he's always like, yeah, it's gonna happen as you get older. You know what I mean?
You just get more disciplined.
Yeah, it just happens. You know, it's just who we are. You know what I mean? That dog that's in there, it tends to leave a little bit, and you tend to, you know, do things a little bit more like, okay, I probably should do this, and I kind of want to do this. This is a smart thing to do. Yeah, let's stick with that. And it's like, but, you know, it's like, it will happen. I just won't rush it. I won't make it happen. You know, when it happens, it happens. And I feel it happening every day. And it's like, things are a little bit more like a job every day.
Do you do any? But you still love it.
I love it.
It's
yeah.
a
Greatest
joyful job.
ever. I'd rather do this than flip burgers at Burger King.
Who wouldn't? What do you do in terms of like recovery? Do you do sauna, ice baths, massage? Nothing? You're laughing. Nothing?
They try and get me to go. I've done a decent job this camp of hitting a few places, making sure I get the recovery and stuff like that. But
We get him to swim. We
Yeah,
do get him to swim. We
swim's
consider
everything.
that like a recovery workout.
Yeah.
He getting him, you know, he smokes weed. That helps.
smoking shit.
That helps. Listen,
It's-
that's a good coach.
You know, it's like
Great coach. This is like
It
my
helps
dad.
because it helps him relax.
right. It helps him relax. It helps him. You know, it's like Kevin. You know, it's like I really think it's like, you know, for Kevin, you know, he really needs weed. You know, like we realized that years ago. 'Cause I tried to get him. I like, listen, Kevin, it's illegal. You're not gonna. I just won't fight there. Listen, you have to want to fight in the UFC. I'm not gonna fight there. They test. I'm not going there. It's like, and then they started relaxing the rules, and okay, I'll go there. You know, it's like, but it's a medical thing where it's like Kevin, you know, just it slows down the world. It helps him relax. It's like Kevin without weed is difficult. We're all much safer with Kevin with weed.
Oh, seriously. it's
I believe it.
It gets really bad.
I always found it made my jiu-jitsu better. I really did. I felt like I rolled, not my training, not learning. Like teaching things, I'm not good at learning things when I'm
Yeah.
high. But when I would roll, if I would get high and just roll, I always felt
Yeah.
like way more in tune with what was going on.
like open mats. Like you just
Yeah, just go out
just
there and
roll
roll,
the day.
baked
Yeah.
as fuck,
Well,
barbecue.
it's like, but if he comes in barbecued, if he comes in barbecued, then that's too far.
I'm just laughing the
I
whole
don't know. Yeah, it's like he'll just be goofy. It's like that doesn't work for Kevin. It's
He, like,
if
one
Kevin
hit,
comes
two
in,
hits.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what'd you do yesterday?
One
Okay,
blunt.
do that again. Okay, what'd you do yesterday? Don't do that. Don't do that. That
a
was
blunt
bad.
before practice. I've learned like a blunt before practice is perfect. You know, it's like it's when
But
I
just
smoke.
don't get too crazy.
Yeah, it's when I
Oh.
go 2 or 3 blunts. I come in there and I'm like,
And then we're talking about the blunts too. It's like we need to switch away from this. It's like, you know, it's like I'm like, you know, can you switch to this? And he's like, no.
Edibles?
No. What about edibles? I don't know. It's like maybe. It's like, you know, but like okay, what? It's like I'll just have Suge roll me a couple. It's like it'll be fine. It's like, I'll use different paper. Okay,
Do
fine.
you get massages or ice baths or anything like that?
I know a couple sexy girls.
I don't think that counts. I mean,
For
like
real?
sports massage, like a real massage, like someone who
mean-
breaks your tight tissue up and loosens your
in my
muscles
legs,
up.
yeah. Yeah, she cha, and, you know, gets the action and we're good to go.
Getting Kevin to do that stuff is difficult. Maybe when he gets a little bit older.
That stuff's for softies, bro.
Softies?
Yeah. Or older people.
Really?
One or the other.
Yeah, like you and I are older people that
Yeah.
are softies.
But what about sauna?
No.
You don't do any of that either?
No, there's no reason for the sauna. I mean,
No reason.
We get him to swim. We're happy with it. We
Okay,
get him
so
to
we'll-
swim.
baby steps.
Baby
Baby
steps.
steps.
Well, maybe a year from now we'll come back and we'll be talking about sauna. But I mean,
Okay.
it might be 2 or 3. So.
yeah, it's bad. It's like I used to think the foam roller was gay. You know, it's like
What are you
Now-
doing with it? Where are you putting it?
I don't know.
No, you just need to look at why are you doing that?
I was
It's
like,
like
girls
why
do
are you
that.
doing that? It's like this is silly.
Yeah.
It's like now you see now he's using it some, not very much.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like the resistant bands at first. Suge used to always want to do resistant bands. I used to be like, bro, that's for girls. Like, give me some weights. and he'd give me like 5 pounds. He'd be like, do this workout. I'd be like, 5? This ain't nothing. Then I'd be tired. I'd be like, oh God. So, it's like, yeah. I don't know.
Baby steps, right?
Baby steps with Kev.
Baby steps.
We'll take our time.
Listen, Kevin,
fine.
I'm a big fan. I'm glad you came down here.
Thanks, bro.
Glad I got a chance to talk to you, and it's been really cool to call your fights and really cool to watch your ascension up the ranks in the UFC. Yeah. And I'm excited about this Brunson fight. I'm just excited about your career.
Thanks, bro. I'm appreciative. I'm super happy to be here. This is cool. Yeah.
I could tell you are, and you're just a fun guy, man. Fun people like you, they don't come around that often. It's great.
Thanks, Joe.
My pleasure. Great
Appreciate
to
you,
see
Joe.
you as well, Travis. Awesome.
Thanks, Joe.
Well,
Thanks, bro.
congratulations. Good luck to you. Can't
Thank
wait
you.
to see you again. Goodbye, everybody.